All right, Jake. I'm going to start off this show by congratulating the Toronto Blue Jays. They won 13-4 today at home versus a Rays team, and for I think obvious reasons, we have a problem with them. We'll get to that eventually here, but we don't want to take the shine off the Blue Jays. Again, 94-68, American League East champions with a tie of the Yankees record, who of course also won 94 games, but Toronto beat the brakes off us for the most part during the regular season, and that's why you play those games. That's why you play your division rivals as much as you do, just in case something like this happens. The Blue Jays took care of business against us, and now they're the number one seed. So, that leaves us here, Jake. We're a 4 seed, now lining up with Garrett Crochet, who's pitched well against us this year. He has. We had some luck last time, but, this is now teeing up Game 1 at Yankee Stadium on Tuesday at 6:08 Eastern versus Max Fried. And again, guys, if you're just joining us here at Yankees Unloaded for the first time, please be sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you back. And of course, if you want to support our channel, you can like this video. It'll help us a ton. Jake, thoughts, feelings, gut feelings on how the Yankees fare versus the Red Sox. I know you think we're the better team. I know that for a fact. But also, it's a bit of news that I dropped on you just before the show started. Roman Anthony is not likely to play at all in this series. According to Red Sox reporter Christopher Smith, Roman Anthony and the rehabbers will go to Fort Myers when the Red Sox are in the wild card round. Roman Anthony had this to say. He said, "There's still no timetable for my return." He said he's doing light workouts right now. That was also according to that report. Jake, how we feeling? Because if there's no Roman Anthony, a lot of people in our comment section said the feeling of that Red Sox series wasn't the same without his presence. How confident is everyone now with this Boston series?
Oh, Roman Anthony or not, I feel very confident. But no Roman Anthony, I mean, that's a significant loss for the Boston Red Sox. Now, I know that they've played without him, and they've won some really important games. They won this series to face the Yankees, because otherwise it would have been Skubal on the mound on short rest. And it would have been the Tigers, a team that the Yankees actually just haven't been able to beat really this year. So it's actually interesting. In a way, I would rather play the Red Sox. I think they're going to beat the brakes off the Jays. I do. I think they got their number the last time, that last series. But that's kind of where I'm leaning, Gary. What have you done for me lately? I don't care what happened earlier in the season. It's a different team, right? We're talking about some of those starts with Crochet before the trade deadline. Yankees have a completely different bullpen now. They have different guys on their bench. They have different guys in their lineup. It's a different game. Ben Rice isn't a platoon bat anymore, right? I mean, he is, and he probably will not play, so probably terrible timing to say that. But for the most part, he's been an everyday player. So,
you also have a bench that you can platoon with, which, I mean, this year we talked about it. We've had a lot more success against lefties, and that's great. But post-deadline, the Yankees quite literally, I mean, who was the name that you popped out? Was it Rosario? You mentioned his numbers?
Yeah, 1,800 OPS. He should be starting tomorrow. I don't care. I do not care. He should be playing. The way I see it is this. Ben Rice won't be in the lineup tomorrow. It's going to be Austin Wells behind the dish, and I get it. Because you trust Austin Wells more. Blocking, you trust Austin Wells more. Framing, and you trust Austin Wells more with the arm and the pop time. He's actually improved since Ben Rice started taking his... I don't know if you noticed that. Much improved. So here's the deal. Now, since it's such a close call and everything's going to be really tight and it's postseason, now the framing is everything. And that's when Austin Wells is going to have to continue doing what he's doing. And you're just going to have to hope the bat works. And, he's got decent splits against Crochet. I mean, he's hitting 222, which doesn't sound great, but he has an 889 OPS. So he's actually slugging against Crochet. Right. Okay. So I don't think Ben Rice plays tomorrow. I think Austin Wells plays. And I think you have Paul Goldschmidt. But actually, you know what's really interesting? Paul Goldschmidt against lefties is insane. We know that. Paul Goldschmidt against this lefty is not insane. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to rescind what I'm saying. I think they might go with Ben Rice. They both struggle, and that's for sure. But nobody has seen Crochet more than Paul Goldschmidt on the New York Yankees, and he has a 321 OPS.
The
321.
Yankees do tend to lean on veterans in time,
They
really
do.
crunch time. So more so, I think you're explaining the logic as to like maybe why you would steer away from the vet and you'd go towards Ben Rice. Ben Rice is playing better baseball in comparison to Paul Goldschmidt of late. He just is. So I think a lot of people, I haven't even gotten a chance to read the comments, they're probably going to say, no, I need to see Ben Rice. And that's justifiable. It just is. But at the same time, more times than not, what do you see in October? You see the Yankees. What do we do in panic time? Where's the vet that I can throw out onto the field? I've at least seen him on the big stage, as opposed to some of these other players who may be more talented, may have better numbers. The Yankees don't usually rely on young, unproven players when it really matters. And in a 3-game series where 2 wins sends you home, I have a hard time believing Paul Goldschmidt won't play in this game. So I think I agree with you. I would go Ben Rice at first base. I don't think that's what they do.
It's funny because I literally started, like, when we first talked before this, I was like, yeah, Ben Rice isn't going to play tomorrow. And now I'm going to go back on it. I think he is going to play tomorrow. I think he plays over Goldschmidt. I think if it was any other lefty, his numbers would look good against him. They brought up, the other day, Aaron Boone brought it up. I think it was Volpe. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have the best numbers against so forth. I was like, oh, now you're using historical numbers. We've been using it after every show.
So we both think that Ben Rice should play first base tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We're not sure that they're going to, right?
Yes.
We're just not sure of that. That's it. I can't say it's concerning. It's just kind of how we manage this team. It's what we've done the whole year. There have been times where you and I told our entire audience, you guys can bet your ass Paul Goldschmidt's playing tomorrow. It's a lefty. He's got great numbers against him. And then you go into tomorrow, Paul Goldschmidt's nowhere to be found. And they're like, we like the way Ben Rice is swinging the bat. I'm like, what? This is defeating everything you explained to me the whole year. So again, we're not concerned about vet or not. We want talent or not. Who's more talented? Who's the guy who can help us the most? I mean, exact same equation when it comes to Cam Schlittler. We both said we want Cam Schlittler starting game 3, any potential game 3. And that was over Luis Gil. Now, Gil's still a young player. I mean, he's in year 2. But we weren't going to steer towards another veteran just for the sake of being a veteran. That doesn't mean a ton to us. What's your skill set like? How do you apply it? And Ben Rice has proven, at least in the last, I'd say 45 days, I can hit righties. I can hit lefties. I can field my position. The defense at first base has been miles better. Has he made mistakes from time to time? Yes, but so does any other player. And so has Paul Goldschmidt this year, by the way. I think you've mentioned it, Jake, many times. His defense, I don't know if I would sit here and call it overrated, but it's certainly not premier at this stage of his career. So to make it seem like Paul Goldschmidt is this defensive presence, the way like a Ryan McMahon would be on the opposite corner, Goldschmidt is not that at this stage. He is a power bat against left-handed pitching, but I think you mentioned it, when you're facing Garrett Crochet, is that advantage of hitting against a lefty, has it worked? And those numbers, what were his numbers against Crochet again?
133 batting average, a 188 on base, a 133 slugging coming out.
And how many at bats?
321 OP. 16.
Okay, so not a ton of work, but it's work.
That's pretty bad.
It's not very good. So you can absolutely make the argument that Ben Rice is just the best man for the job. And I'll tell you guys, I think the Yankees, when it comes to building a lineup for this series, you're not going to be able to make anyone happy with these lineups, because you could walk into game 1 and say, I really want Ryan McMahon and his defense at third base with a ground ball pitcher in Max Fried. That's the obvious. But do I want to see Garrett Crochet, Ryan McMahon at bats? You can pretty much book him for an 0 for 4 or 3 punchies. That's not good, Jake. So you can absolutely say, hey, Rosario, right, and some of these other platoon bats, then people are going to watch a ground ball get hit over to third base. It looks nothing like Ryan McMahon, and people are going to want Ryan McMahon suddenly to be over there. So this is a tough job of building these lineups, because you just need to find a way to win and move on.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly it. And by the way, Paul Goldschmidt, I'm really tired of hearing how Paul Goldschmidt should, you could just put him in as a defensive replacement. Why? Like, why would he ever play over Ben Rice if he doesn't have the splits? And he doesn't have the splits against Garrett Crochet. Paul Goldschmidt's fielding run value is in the 32nd percentile. Ben Rice is not a Gold Glover by any means. He's in the 38th percentile. They have the same -2, but he's a higher percentile than Goldschmidt. The point being is Ben Rice might not be the best defender in the world, but the fact that it's even close tells me that there's no need. You don't have...
It's close enough.
Yeah, you don't have a Mark Teixeira over there, that's coming off the bench. So it's like, to me, if you don't have like a game-changing defender, I don't need to make that switch just for the sake of making it. It has to make sense. And yeah, Goldschmidt has bad numbers. You know who's going to be huge, key, and critical on Tuesday? That? It's going to be Cody Bellinger, who has a 357 batting average and a 929 OPS against Crochet. He's the key. He's going to be right in the thick of it. Whether they're hitting him second, third, or fourth, he is going to be right in the thick of that. And he's going to have to come through, and I think he will. But look, Rosario needs to play. I think Ben Rice needs to play because Ben Rice is hot right now. Just hit 2 home runs today. I think Aaron Judge, he has 2 home runs against Crochet. He only has 3 hits. But I liked Aaron Judge's last at-bats against Crochet. Like, I feel like he's kind of figuring him out slowly but surely. And that's really kind of why I feel good about the Yankees against Crochet, is because I feel like that last time out, on August 23rd. Oh, no, it wasn't August 23rd. They got destroyed that day. September 14th, right? That at the stadium. Oh, no, excuse me. That was in Boston. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Okay, he had 12 strikeouts, and he does strike you out. But they were getting runs on the board on him, right? Like the last time, only 1 run. And then back at the stadium to start the season on the 7th, people don't talk about this, by the way. Garrett Crochet got mashed up his first time in New York. He got the win, but he gave up 5 runs. See,
so it's not Randy Johnson walking into Yankee Stadium.
No.
It's a great pitcher. I mean, he's
Fantastic
in our Cy
pitcher.
Young conversation. He was, and he still is. He's not going to win it, but he was like one of the guys we would choose from. Now, having said that, when you look up and say, hey, Garrett Crochet is walking into Yankee Stadium for game 1, do we have somebody that can go toe-to-toe with this talent? The answer is yes. Max Fried can absolutely go toe-to-toe with Crochet, and the Yankees bullpen really isn't overworked this week.
No.
You saw some length. You saw length from Cam Schlittler, and this is why I talked about it 3 or 4 days ago. I was just like, hey, if you're going to be trying to win out, which is what everyone said, you got to sweep. You got to go sweep Baltimore. You got to go sweep them, right? And we go do it. You cannot be throwing Bednar an inning and 2/3 every other day and just redline to win, and then now all of a sudden they're like, hey, you guys ready for Tuesday in the wild card? No. You need to put some pressure on your starting pitchers and say, hey, stay on the mound. That's the value in innings, and they did that. So now as we walk into game 1, everyone in our bullpen should be rested and ready to go for a low-scoring game. Our bullpens pitched well. One thing that needs to be said here, Jake, we did not play the greatest of competition, so you have to keep in mind when people are saying, well, Devin Williams is starting to get it going, right? Luke Weaver is starting to get it going. Bednar has just been solid. I really think there are still question marks with this bullpen because even though you're getting those results, you are pitching against a bunch of schmendies. And of course, we're saying they're schmohawks, not in a standpoint of they're bad baseball players, but they're bad hitters in comparison to the good hitters that are in Major League Baseball, right? You're facing Baltimore's lineup. Baltimore, we knew coming into the series, hey, they don't hit velocity. What did they fail at the whole series? They couldn't touch velocity. Anything over 97 was right by them, right? So we need to see what's Cam Schlittler going to look like against Boston. What's that going to look like? We saw earlier this year what Rodon, what Fried looked like against Boston, and it was favorable. It was really good for us. So, Jake, I have high hopes for this. I know I didn't about 2 months ago, and for obvious reasons. It was the way we were playing. Yeah. But I think the energy for Boston, really, obviously, it can get going in a short series. There's no doubt about it. Yankees, Red Sox will get them up. But once you throw the first punch, I have a feeling when that first punch lands against Boston, they're going to lay down because they know they don't have the firepower to deal with us.
Yeah, I really think the Yankees are going to win 2 out of 3, and it's going to be the first 2, and we're not even going to see Game 3. And that's not wishful thinking. Like, I genuinely believe this. I think they're going to get after Crochet. And I understand that sounds weird to people. Like, wait, why do you think that? Crochet's had their number. I look back at that game, you know, at the stadium, and I'm like, the Yankees are a better team than when they put up 5 against him. And I think that really the thing that is going to help the Yankees is how home run dependent they are. And I just think Yankee Stadium, it's just a different ball game when it comes to that. I mean, how many times this year were we like, man, like Colorado or whatever, right? It's like, that would have been a home run at Yankee Stadium. And it's like, you know, and it's like,
but now we earn the right to be at Yankee Stadium, and people can say what they want about, oh, if that wasn't at Yankee Stadium, well, it is. Right? People say this all the time. They're like, Canes would be terrible without the cane sauce. I'm like, yeah, well, they have the sauce. The sauce is there. So why are we talking about it? Yankee Stadium will be a factor for both Boston and us, right? It just always has been, right? So having said that, absolutely love the matchup with Bellinger. I love that you brought that up. I was curious to know what you thought about Fried, because keep in mind, when he was first signed here, we knew about the numbers, right? We knew exactly what he does in the regular season, which is extremely valuable. It is. It's valuable.
Yeah,
However,
definitely.
You don't become a Yankee until you perform in October, right? If CC Sabathia gave us everything he did as a Yankee, but didn't do squat in October, it changes the way you view him because he wasn't able to do it on the big stage. It just brings you to a new level. Same with Matsui, same with Rodriguez. The list goes on. Max Fried was signed here, and we brought up those postseason numbers. I've got them right here. Max Fried is 2-5. Now, obviously, was with the Atlanta Braves. Different table here. This is just not the bright lights. This is pitching in Atlanta. 2-5 with a 5.10 ERA, 66 strikeouts in 20 postseason appearances. So that's an ERA of 5.10. Jake, that's not good. So this is what we've called, similar to Rodon. It seems like a different version of Fried. Do you have high hopes for what this is going to be, or is this just we'll feel it out? What's up?
I feel pretty good about Fried. All right, so this is what I'm going to say. Okay? I'm going to say when it comes to Aaron Judge, I'm going to bring up Aaron Judge here for a reason. It's always he sucks in the playoffs, right? But
That's what they say.
But actually, if you look, can we all agree the wild card is the playoffs?
I would say the wild card is playoff time. If you can be eliminated from any contention of doing something, and it's now a tournament, that's postseason.
Okay, cool. Glad we cleared that up. So Aaron Judge, by the way, in said playoffs, when you look, he has been in the wild card, right? So let's pull this up here. So in the wild card, he's hitting 300, and he's got a 1,200 OPS.
How many at-bats is that in?
That's in 24 plate appearances.
Okay, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
In the wild card round, it's a lot. Now, we're not trying to spin it like, oh, no, he's actually just been great in October. You guys didn't look under this rock. Mm-hmm. No, but we're also saying here it's a little overstated, right? It almost like we eliminate the wild card and we just start October in the division series. That's probably not representing him as much as he should, because I know for a fact he was great in that Oakland series.
Yeah. Well, so Max Fried, my point here is that I can't confirm this. I don't know how the players feel. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the wild card just is like an extension of the season. You know? That's what I feel like. Like the wild card doesn't feel like the postseason yet. It feels like a play-in game.
Well, that's fair. From a technical standpoint, it is a play-in. It's a play-in series.
Yeah.
And you get to play in, and now you're taking the hard road. You've thrown your 1 through 3 starters. At best, you went 1 through 2. Now we're going to have this turnaround The schedule is set in stone. Who's throwing game one for you? It's a disadvantage. And you've earned that by not winning your division. Congratulations. So I have no problem doing this. It's what Toronto earned. That's why they beat us. That's why we said this was so important. That's why, Jake, we said it was super important for us to figure out a way to beat Boston, and we finally did that. But Boston didn't win the division. Toronto did. And we figured it out far too late. That's the value of June and July, Jake, unfortunately. So,
it's true. He's got two wild card starts, by the way. Fried does.
Does he really?
Yes. So he's one that was an absolute banger. Didn't give up a run. 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts against Cincinnati. Got the win. And then he had one that was, let's just say you want to forget it ever happened last year against the Padres. And he had 2 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, only 2 strikeouts. He gave up a home run. I personally don't care what Fried's postseason numbers are, because I think he's a better pitcher in New York than he's been. I think they unlock something with him. And I think
you can absolutely say that. I have faith that that's the case as well. Same with Rodon, right? Like I feel like if year one's Rodon, if he was healthy, we're getting year one Rodon in pinstripes, I believe I would worry walking into a game 2 of this series. I believe, if we just took Fried off the mound from Atlanta in game 1, Max Fried was pitching this game, I probably would be worried. But given what I saw, right, he was at the mountaintop. He fell for really, how long was that, Jake? I mean, it was really about 5 or 6 starts. He wasn't good at all. We were talking about the blister. We were talking about the stuff, the spin, the location. Michael K covered that as well. It wasn't there. It wasn't any good. And he also bounced back. It takes a special type of person to hit rock bottom, if you will, in New York, at least for a period of time, and then, I guess break through that ceiling. He did that. So you have to imagine he's going to find a way in this start. I'm not worried about it, but I want to get to our supers because this super is just an absolute banger. It is.
We love bangers.
Yeah. David L., appreciate the 5, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Says the Rays intentionally screwed the Yankees, sabotaged the game, sat Simpson, Diaz, etc. Nice thank you for the Yankees loaning them the field. No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this is the reason I waited about roughly 23 minutes into the show to bring this up. I wanted to give the Jays their due because they earned this, and I still believe that today. But having said that, for the Tampa Bay Rays to use our stadium, George M. Steinbrenner Field, right next to the Bucs Stadium, thanks so much, guys. In game 162, you have the absolute audacity. I don't mind you lose this game, and people have the opinion, oh, they didn't try, whatever have you. I don't care about that. I wouldn't even have said anything. If they lost 12-0 today with their starters in, I probably wouldn't have said anything. But, Jake, to go out there and sit 3 or 4 of your starters and just have just an absolute joke of a lineup, non-competitive game was a shame for baseball. It honestly, what it did was make the Yankees game unwatchable after about the 3rd inning once you realized that was the case, because you wanted to still see, could these field of jabronis go out and win this game anyways, by the strike of God, something crazy happens, a miracle. After about 3 or 4 innings and you watch what was happening and unfolding against a bunch of AAA guys, well, it really made the whole day unwatchable. And it was a shame. So I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought it was a ton of nerve, given the fact they're playing at our stadium and they couldn't do us the justice of just trying at all today.
I completely agree. Lost a lot of respect for Kevin Cash personally. I thought that was a defeatist mentality. The season's over. I'm not saying that they sabotaged the Yankees on purpose, but they didn't care, and it's like, that's pathetic. So
they got the checks, Jake. They get to show up. It's in a nice sealed envelope. Checks right on time. Take the day off. Don't worry about it. It's game 162. If it screws the Yankees or the Jays, I don't think it was personal against us. It's just, how do you not try? When you're paid to do a job, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
No, I mean, I feel the exact same way you do. But for me, it's also like, let's address it and let's move on. Because, like, the Rays aren't playing postseason baseball, so who cares? I actually wanted to say something kind of, about the Mets. Because shout out to the Reds who lost today, and the Mets lost today. And shout out to Marion's Marlins for sealing the deal, because that is got to be the most painful way to miss the playoffs. Everything you needed to go right happened, and you still couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Marion, thank you for the 2. Really appreciate the super. Marlins eliminate the Mets. And you know what was so funny about it? This was hilarious. And now I told you.
Did you hear the broadcast?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I really like the Mets broadcast.
I know you do.
What a ridiculous bit of coverage that was.
Like it's the World Series. Oh, you ain't going there either, dipshit. Like,
first, okay. When people say, why would so-and-so, regardless of the team, the Rays, the Blue Jays, any team out there, why would they care about the Yankees? We're not asking you to care. We ask you to care about you. Care about your game, what you're doing, right? Now, mind you, isn't it fun to go out there and try and compete and eliminate people from opportunity? That's fun. But to just quit, that's different. Oh, we're not going to try today. I'll just get punched and get knocked out and he'll lose his bet. It's great. It's funny. No, that's stupid. But what's funny is going out there as the Marlins, as the Reds, and going out and eliminating the Mets, who have a $341 million payroll, the exact same amount of money the Dodgers are paying. And guys, when people say, oh, this team is buying a championship, this team is buying, no, in reality, what it is you're investing. Hey, that's nice little change of word choice there. You're investing. The owner is spending money on your team in hopes that it's going to turn into wins. That's all it is. And the New York Mets,
icing on the cake.
It was great. And Marion says the Marlins with the lowest payroll. Yeah, I would honestly say I don't really root for low payrolls, but obviously it's funny just for the simple fact of that Juan Soto, everything worked out perfect. Juan Soto, who I absolutely wanted back in New York, I won't sugarcoat that. I won't lie here on the broadcast. I said I wanted him back. I didn't know who was showing up afterwards. I didn't know what we were doing. We lose Juan Soto. A lot of writers and reporters told me, and you as well, Jake, Juan Soto is a mercenary. He's a guy where if the Reds, if the Tigers, if whoever gave him, the Yankees offered $775, whoever offered $776 was going to get Juan Soto. Lo and behold, Juan Soto signs top dollar with the New York Mets, with the richest owner who's essentially trying to invest all the money in the world to bring talent in. Juan Soto goes there, tells us all it's because his family's getting close and because, they have a better future. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what we're building over here. How's that going? They won more baseball games last year without you than they did this year. Now, of course, there's context, different team, but Jake, that is funny.
Yeah, no, it was funny, and it was funny because there was also that I didn't want to. I normally take the high road, but that certain dude that likes to run his mouth.
Take the low road.
Yeah, all last year I heard from that Ben dude, the Mets fan who covers the. I don't care.
Well, you can just move the goalpost to whatever's going on this offseason. Rent free. That's what they say. If you take a loss in anything, you can just say, "Oh, I'm living rent free." I'm like, you're a loser.
I mean, I didn't even know who he was, and he was in my mentions all last year, like, "Oh, enjoy Soto because he's gonna be a Met," and I was just like, "No, he's not." And then eventually, he did become a Met, right?
Right.
So he got what he wanted, but then he couldn't take what he dished out because, like, obviously, I keep receipts. He said, "I'll make sure to tune into that first show on Yankees Unloaded after he signs with the Mets," and I said, "Tune in tonight as we talk about how great that Juan Soto signing looks for the Mets now." And then he said, nobody listens to that garbage, LOL. So apparently 581 people are currently listening to it, and there'll be thousands of people. But the funny thing, and this is exactly why I feel the way I do about the Mets. I actually used to like the Mets when I was younger. Not as like a fan, right? But I had a soft spot for them because I loved Willie Randolph, being that I was a former Yankee. So I obviously diehard Yankee fan, but I would also watch the Mets. And then I got older, and I realized that not every Met fan is like this, but there are a lot of insufferable Mets fans that are living in a whole other dimension, and they feel like the Mets. They'll call it like this is Mets country. No, it's not. You haven't won a World Series
on your
since
shoulder.
1986.
Yeah, it's a chip on your shoulder over nothing. It doesn't need to happen. I mean, there have been some really good Clippers teams. Really good. Right?
I love how Chris
you
knew
mentioned
exactly what I was talking about, but yeah.
Right. See, the thing is,
that tells you everything.
You know, just like I know, the Clippers have had really good basketball teams the last 20 years. Not obviously now, but Lob City, right? And it was multiple
I made that
years.
Tweet too. I said this would be like Kawhi Leonard choosing the Clippers over the Lakers, which was still the dumbest thing ever for him. Great for the Lakers.
Ridiculous. Right.
But Juan Soto, I hope he and I saw the interview and people are like, see, like he still believes in the Mets. He signed a 15-year deal. I don't think the best thing after your first year is gonna be like, yeah, I don't think we have a chance to win the World Series. Like,
what's
what did
the
you
point
want
of those
say?
interviews?
Hey,
so Juan, how you feeling now? You just signed a 46-year, $600 billion contract. Year one was a complete joke. Do you have faith in this team at all? No, not at all. I'm ready to go. What's the point of putting the mic in his face? Juan Soto still thinks, and then people say, well, they just have a job to do. I'm like, well, then if it's your job to ask questions, why don't you ask him a real question with substance? You can learn something. Hey, Juan Soto still believes in his teammates who he has to spend the next 14 years with. Could you imagine, guys, if you signed to go to a college and you knew you had to be there for 15 years?
Can you imagine if our entire show was just like, how badly do you think the Yankees want to win?
It's
we
barbaric.
didn't even talk about stats. We're just like, I don't know. I think Aaron Boone wants it because it would help him be liked more. Like,
if they ever let us into
no
in the locker room and we've got Yankees Unloaded mics and we ask questions to Aaron Boone or whoever is manager at that point, I promise you guys, you're not getting a how did it feel? Unless you're popping champagne and we won the World Series, don't ask them how it feels or do you believe in your teammates. Stupid. People say, hey,
it's a waste.
How would you feel if DJ LeMahieu was DFA'd? Oh, I'd be happy. The guy's sitting 10 lockers over. Are you joking? What kind of stupid question is that? Ridiculous.
I understand in the sense you just win the World Series and the sideline reporter always has to ask a question like that, right? Because it's the moment.
Sure. Yes.
But it's after the moment. The moment's already happened. And now you're like, how do you feel? It's like, gee, I can't see because of all the champagne in my eyes. I have this giant ring that's about the size of a cinder block. What do you mean? How do you think I feel? Right? But my thing with that will always be my thing with that is that you are wasting your time because it's not just, oh, it's a stupid question, whatever. No. It's a question. You had valuable time interviewing somebody and you asked a bad question. And because you asked a bad question, you didn't get a chance to ask another question. And because you didn't ask a good question at all, think about you're in a spot where other people would kill to be in, and they would ask better questions than you. That's always
I would
how
say,
I
though,
look
Jake,
at it.
to some degree, that's a good way to look at it. To some level, I think we all know deep down inside, a lot of reporters just ask these softball questions because if they didn't, the player would get upset, right? If you're actually asking them a question where they have to give you a real answer and there's not really a way to shake out of it. Because if you're sitting there thinking, hey, as an NFL player, I've got to do 3.5 minutes of interviews, and I sit down on the table, here's Jan, she's going to ask me a question, and she says, hey, Gary, how did it feel? You guys won 50-0 today, and I get to spend 90 of those seconds talking about how good it felt to win. Well, it feels good for me because it's really just 90 seconds off. It's just word fluff nonsense, right? It's like writing in an essay and your thesis is 600 words, and you've got to write a 1,000-word essay. Right? That feels really good. I think to some level, asking them a real question kind of pisses people off. Jersey Girl here with the 5 says, very concerned we have 3 automatic outs. I was curious to know about how you felt about this, Jay, because remember, there are pros and cons to some of these players. Now, Volpe, I'm not sure. They'll tell you he hits lefties, right? List here,
he's going to be in the lineup against Crochet.
I agree with you that he will be in the lineup tomorrow. Wells,
Caballero
Volpe,
actually
and McMahon
doesn't have good numbers against him, and Volpe in a very small sample size is hitting 400. So,
yeah. So Jersey Girl says, and Volpe has been shaky at shortstop. We are facing Crochet, who crushes the Yankees. Do you see McMahon being in the lineup tomorrow? Because there's a ton of pros and cons here. I think he sits tomorrow. I think they're going to be consistent with that.
Well, remember
or tomorrow, Tuesday.
No, I knew what you meant. Remember what I said about like why it's not a big deal to have Stanton in left field and in Boston?
Yes,
because it's way shorter. Like the field is not as long. Well, I don't have Jason Dominguez out there in left. I'm gonna have Cody Bellinger. So I feel like I can get away with if Rosario kind of lets one go. I don't have to worry about my left fielder fumbling around in the wall, right?
That's so Grisham, Bellinger, Judge, outfield.
Mm-hmm.
Premier defense. It's our best defensive lineup that we have to deploy. So excellent in the outfield. You're not so worried about the defense in the infield. Now, you can't just throw you and I out there. We get that.
Yeah, no.
But
I'm not going out there.
But it's not the end of the world if a ball squeaks by down the line where Jason Dominguez is having to run it down and it turns into a double or even a triple if he fumbles it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think McMahon, there's just no way you can give away 4 at-bats. If we get 4 at-bats, that is a waste of at-bats.
No, I mean, you look at what Rosario has been with the Yankees, and I mean, he's a good player, you know? And he's really good against lefties. He's hitting 303 for the Yankees. He has a 788 OPS, right? He's almost got a 500 slugging. So that is a guy, when he has an 1800 OPS against Crochet, and you've had a hard time beating Crochet, as a matter of fact, you have not beat Crochet this year, that guy should be in the lineup. And his defense leaves a lot to be desired, don't get me wrong. But in spots, and actually, I want to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talk all the time. We use Savant, right? We can be a prisoner of our own analysis. And I think the thing I want to make very clear is Rosario is a major league third baseman.
Yes.
If you put him there for one game, I don't think he's going to kill you. It's when he's starting a full season where now you start to feel the effects. But I think Rosario has had some good moments over at the hot corner for the Yankees, and he's not playing a whole lot. I mean, we're talking 16 games. He's only had 33 at-bats for the Yankees this year.
I feel like you could be describing he or Jazz Chisholm, right? Jazz could play third base. He can pick it. He's got all the athleticism. He's got the arm. He even had a couple series where he flashed a leather in the hot corner. Mm-hmm. But then we played him long term. We showed up in 2025, and we're like, he's like, where am I playing? Third base. You're like, oh, you didn't sign a third baseman? Interesting. I'm going to third. And then what happened? All of a sudden, he's dealing with the shoulder, right? He's dealing with these different issues.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same player. We move him, and then he was back. So, yeah, I agree with you. Rosario in a one-game situation, platoon job, I think it's the move. I wanted to know what you thought about the base running, because the Yankees stole more bases this year than we've ever seen them steal. Ever. Mm-hmm. We don't see the Yankees even look at second base when they're standing at first. They pretty much are just happy to be there. And they're there to high-five the dude who hits a home run behind him. And that's all fine. We love to see home runs. Home runs are the best thing you can do in baseball. But you can't solely do that. So in Game 1, this is at Yankee Stadium. There's going to be a ton of energy. It's going to be electric. I'm curious how aggressive the Yankees are going to be on the base pass. Because remember what Boone said. I'm fine with them running into outs. Now, of course, he's not inviting just getting hosed on the base pass. Essentially, all he's telling you, and it's the obvious, is that at least we're being aggressive and not station to station. We're trying to make something happen, but easier said than done to take that risk in the postseason setting. So we've seen other teams, right? We saw that Kansas City Royals team in 2015. We've seen some of these teams run the hell out of these bases and just be as aggressive as possible, bringing guys off the bench to do it. How aggressive do you see Volpe, right? Some of these guys who were stealing bases the whole year. Do you think they do that now when it's the most important games of the year? Because I am a little hesitant to say that they just will.
No, and here's why. Carlos Narvaez is in the 98th percentile caught stealing above average. Okay, so he's going to play every single game that's in this wild card, and you don't think he's got an axe to grind with the Yankees trading him away? So yeah, he's going to be fired up. He's already really good at what he does, and I mean he's got an argument as one of the best catchers in baseball.
At least situationally in October, in a small, shrunk series where you're talking about, okay, they've won one game, we've won one. You mean to tell me Boston can't win one of two baseball games at the stadium? Of course that can happen.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to win in October. And you walk up and you're sitting there in a 1-1 series and you're like, hey, the man on first base, he can run. It's Jason Dominguez. He's pinch running. That's a tough base to steal on Narvaez. Very tough. So, it's going to be interesting to see that cat and mouse game, because I would hate to see the Yankees just say, oh, well, Narvaez is back there, we're not moving. Because what it does is it reverts the Yankees back to their old selves, waiting on the home run ball. I don't want to wait for that at Yankee Stadium. If we hit a bunch of homers, that's awesome. But if it's what we're waiting on, I think we're going to be disappointed if that's the way we're going to play.
No, I definitely think that's fair. See, when it comes to, the running game, and obviously it's important, but most catchers aren't just tossing guys out left and right. Like, if Narvaez is a problem, then he's a problem. And it's not that you're going to abandon it, but you're not going to go as crazy as they've been.
That's fair.
So I think it's like, think about when Judge, right? When Judge is taking off and stealing, it's not like one of those things where he's going to do that against Narvaez. Like, I think a catcher like this, you're going to see, obviously I don't think he starts tomorrow, but Jose Caballero as a pinch runner. Jazz, if he's healthy, right? Jason Dominguez as a pinch runner. I mean, really, I don't see them being able to kind of advance as much as they might like to. So the game
Caballero will. He's very aggressive, but at the same time, we've also seen, I mean, Yes Network's covered this, is that a lot of times he'll get picked off, right? He will struggle when there's a ton of attention on him. Now, again, you can steal a ton of bases, and that's awesome. There were a ton of stolen bases this year across the league. Everyone was stealing bases, and we've talked about why that would be. But in October, they're going to be paying attention. They will. They're not just going to let you take off to second base with no attention paid to you. And Jake, what'd you just throw on the screen?
I don't understand this. So I got this wrong by a tiebreaker.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about it. So, Jeff, of course, we do appreciate you being here first and foremost, and obviously supporting the show by being vocal in the comments. So thank you for that. But, Jeff, this is what sports are about. People have their opinions. They have their predictions as far as what's going to happen. Keep in mind, I joined plenty of other shows, and it wasn't this one. Plenty of other shows this year, the beginning of the year before it ever started in spring training, and people asked me, hey, what do you think about Bo Bichette? What do you think about Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? And I don't really feel like I have to preface this by saying that I thought Toronto would be a good team, but people were asking me that question because they didn't even know if Vladdy Jr. would even want to sign back there, right? That's how many people didn't believe in that Toronto could do what they just did. So rather than worrying about what Jake had to say about Toronto or what I had to say about Toronto, you should just relax and enjoy it. I think that's probably the best thing to do in this moment, is that instead of worrying about anyone else's prediction, you probably just worry about the fact that you're the number one seed in the AL and the Yankees have to go play in a 3-game set, could be 2 games, and then go see you in the division series, where then you're going to play those games starting in Toronto. So that should be what makes you feel good, not coming here.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. But yeah, I just figured I'd bring that because it was like, yeah, I mean, I had Cody Bellinger before the season hitting 30 home runs and he hit 29. So, like, is that a bad prediction?
Wrong.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Horrible prediction. They
he
did
have
talk
8
about
last
that.
year. Like,
I don't know how many he hit last year. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
you were pretty much on the money, and I was a little worried about that prediction. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
So the same thing
Yankee
about
Stadium
Jazz, too.
helps.
He ended up hitting 31.
Yankee Stadium is a little overstated. They're like,
Yes.
oh, he hit 22 homers. He's gonna come to Yankee Stadium and hit 42. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't work that way. Like, do we have some cheapies at Yankee Stadium? Yes, like, we've seen that before. We saw it with Gleyber Torres before. But guys, Cody Bellinger was money this year. He was great. Home, road, all of it. He was awesome.
Cody Bellinger hit 18 homers last year
Wow.
and turned that into 29.
Yeah,
the
but even
Yankees.
like Juan Soto hit 41 for the Yankees. And how many did he hit this year? Was it roughly the same, right?
Yeah. By the way, Anthony Volpe hit 19, so can we stop with the power?
Yeah, well, when you hit 200 and you hit 19 home runs, it's not great. Apex, obviously, with the 2,
not
we've
what you
talked about
want.
Soto, said Soto's suite is empty, loser, Yankees big bro. We're just the Yankees. I think that's just the best way to put it. We're not big bro, little bro. We are the Yankees and you're the New York Mets. There you have it. That's all you have to say about it. But Apex, thank you. And FIFO 8490 with the 5 says Ryan McMahon, his batting stance looks wonky. He needs to work on it. And get better results, but the glove is needed in the postseason. I agree completely about the glove. His defense at third base against right-handed pitching is going to be massive for the Yankees. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they just threw him out there against a lefty and yielded his bat and just got the glove out there because he's that important defensively. But Jake, I don't hate his stance at all. I actually think he looks good. He's a little far off the plate, if you ask me. The dude's like practically standing in the dugout when he's swinging.
Spencer Jones.
Spencer Jones' foot is in another city.
Yeah.
But Ryan McMahon is, and I get what he's trying to do. He wants to get his arms extended. That's the type of pitch type of swing he likes to take. But man, you are far off the plate. Far. Okay? You don't need to be Cody Bellinger on top of the plate, but it would be nice of you to get in the batter's box. What do you think about Ryan McMahon? Because I know we've talked about it. He looks great. He looks like one of the best players on the team, but the results just don't match how he looks out there. He's like the Sports Authority mannequins that you see when you're going to buy a new glove or a bat. He just looks the part.
Yes, and I wanted to preface by saying Gary is talking about how he physically looks, not like his eye test is telling me that he's a great player. Like that, no. Like,
Yeah, he's better than Aaron Judge, guys. No, Ryan McMahon just appears. Like, if you look at him at third base, the way he moves around and the way he stands in the batter's box, you'd be like, oh, this guy's one of the better players on the team. And
it's the lowest
just
batting
not
average this year. Just the Yankees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lowest batting average he's had in his entire career. It's also the lowest OPS.
What is that batting average, by the way?
208.
Okay. It's only up from here.
Yeah. So, I think really with him, it's about, does he get going? Like, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is he going to get going, or is this like kind of who he is? I mean, the last 7 days he's hitting 273 and he's got 1,000 OPS, right? So did he figure something out? I guess we'll find out. But
He's got pop. I mean, we saw in the Houston series, we've seen him go opposite field, and he's not saying he went oppo taco, but he's hit some balls to the warning track in deep left center field at Yankee Stadium. He's got power, but he's got to figure out a way. Just the bat to ball has got to improve. So I hope it gets better.
Yeah, no, it's got to get better. I mean, it kind of goes along the lines of what we were talking about earlier, the guys at the bottom of the order, which I did mean to bring up and I didn't, but
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ryan McMahon, he's hitting better lately. And then Anthony Volpe splits, you have him at what? So the last 7 days, he's hitting 238 with a 524 OPS. So Volpe's been struggling. But no, it's Austin Wells, I believe, right? It was Austin Wells.
He's been better, yes.
He's been much better. His splits, oh yeah. I mean, the last 30 days, 302 with an 892 OPS. The last 7, 357 with an 857. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to say this right now. I think Austin Wells is going to be a factor in the postseason. I think he's going to put together a really good performance behind the plate, and I think he's going to look good at the dish. And the month of September, he hit 291 with an 848 OPS. That's the entire month. Most importantly, his on-base percentage was the highest of the year at 339.
Do you remember? I know everyone knows how bad he was, but does everyone really, can they even can you wrap your mind around how awful Austin Wells was last season? We went to the World Series. Austin Wells was dismal.
He was awful last year.
Horrible. Guys, when I say bad, I mean quite literally, if he was at the plate and there's 2 outs, you can just go to the restroom. Bathroom break. No reason to watch it whatsoever. No chance of survival. Nothing.
Do you want to know his last 30 days of 2024?
Yeah, I would love to know.
111 with a 411 OPS.
He was literally James Bond. He was hitting 007 the whole postseason. Now, again,
he went
we have high hopes about Austin Wells. Not that he's going to be Posada.
He went 2 for 34 in the postseason.
It's obscene. It's an automatic out. It's what a pitcher would do. Now, literally, Andy Pettitte hit better for the Yankees in his tenure in the World Series for the Yankees. So just know that. Now, having said it, the reason that we're not upset if Wells plays game 1, right? If they sit Ben Rice, we're not going to be just blown away by what they put down on the lineup card and we see Austin Wells. It's because of what he's done of late. He at least is doing enough offensively where he shouldn't, in theory, be an automatic out. So when that super chat said, oh, McMahon, Volpe, Wells, we can't have this many automatic outs, Wells hasn't been that for the last several weeks. So will it materialize against Boston in this series? I have no idea. Will it work out against Toronto, hopefully, if we get there in the division series? I don't know. But it would be something had changed. He was really good for a short period of time, and then we started postseason, and then it was bad. You can't plan for that. But, Jake, at least you can put it in the lineup and see if it continues.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, right now, I think Austin Wells, I'm not going to say you should feel confident Austin Wells, who's never hit the postseason ever, is going to come out. It's just my feeling is that he is going to come out, and he's probably going to be like a 250 hitter and 250 over 202 all day. But I think more importantly, his at-bats are more complete. He's not just swinging for the fences, and he's not just missing. He's actually been working counts, and I think that, I mean, that's why his, on base shot up in September. So that's a big deal. That's what I would say there. But yeah, ultimate irony is, thank you, Matthew. Ultimate irony, if the Yankees win the World Series with all the offseason Plan B moves, with the Mets collapse, will be Shakespearean. I don't know why I couldn't say Shakespearean without wanting to say William Shakespearean. But anyway.
Oh, my
God. Yankees will always own New York City. Yeah, I mean, typically the whole Mets country, isn't that just Long Island?
I've actually never heard anyone say Mets country before.
I've not only heard it.
And my great uncle is arguably the greatest Met of all time. So, and I still never heard it. So I don't know.
Not only have I heard it, I've seen the shirts. It shows like the Yankee
people wear
logo.
Shirts around New York City that say Mets country.
I see it around upstate New York all
like
the time.
Broncos country.
Like it literally has the state of New York, and it literally shows Mets country.
Guys,
my dad loves making fun of that.
Don't worry about the Yankees running New York. The Yankees are the Yankees, and the Mets play in Queens. It's just the Yankees are the Yankees. People don't come to town and go, we need to go to Madison Square Garden. We need to go to Citi Field. They don't say that. They say Yankee Stadium. You already know why. So we don't need to explain it for obvious reasons. But Matthew, thank you for the super chat. And guys, before I get to this super, please be sure to subscribe if you're new to Yankees Unloaded, and make sure to support the channel. It's our favorite thing to ever happen is when you guys like the video. It really helps our channel out in discoverability. So thank you guys for doing so. We've got almost 600 people in there. We would love to have 600 likes, but that's not the way the world works. Scott Ross with the 5 says Crochet has never pitched a playoff game. This is a factor. Some of the best of all time have had rough first goes. Let's not crown him yet.
He has actually. He's never started one, but he has pitched 4 games.
Came out of relief, really?
Yeah, the wild card in, I guess it was against Oakland. He got the loss. 0.2 innings, 2 strikeouts. I mean, he didn't get the loss. They lost. And then he pitched 3 games in the ALDS against Houston. They lost 3-1. He pitched 2 1/3, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, no runs. So he's never given up a run in the postseason, but he's never started a game in the postseason. So, yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, it's pretty rare,
You
guys.
forget
that
the White Sox made the postseason 2 years in a row.
Yeah, no, right. That was like the Tim Anderson was in his like really good era, right?
Yeah.
But guys, how often does a player who's had success before in October, how often are you matched up with that in October? It doesn't happen that often. It just doesn't, right? Max Fried, how proven is he, Jake, in October? Not at all, right? Not at all. He still has to prove he can do it here. He hasn't done it. We can give you breadcrumbs as to maybe why it'll work out, but he could show up in game 1 on Tuesday and you're like, here we go, Max Fried. He'll look like he looked all year and then flip the switch and look like the guy who has the 5.10 ERA. Completely unpredictable, by the way. This is why they play the games. So, Max Fried is unpredictable. Carlos Rodon, we've talked about the ascension mentally. And I trust him. Actually, even more so than Max Fried, believe it or not. I really trust Rodon going into this October. But having said that, I don't know. How absolutely proven is he where we can toss him the ball and be like, get out the way? I wouldn't say he is. Not definitively. No. So there are a ton of question marks for everybody. I'm interested to see, of course, what they do with it. But we're not crowning Crochet. We're simply looking at the breadcrumbs of what he did during the regular season. Because, guys, it doesn't mean nothing what happens in June and July. It's at least an appetizer for what you see, in the fall.
Yeah. I think, again, I feel good about the Crochet start. I think the Yankees are going to win that game. And then it's Bayo versus Rodon. And I think Rodon is throwing a gem. And I think they get after Bayo enough. Like, again, I'm not expecting these to be like blowout wins or anything like that. I have a lot of respect for the Red Sox. I just think the Yankees are better. They've been the best team for X amount of games. And I just think right now the Red Sox are running into a buzzsaw. And the Yankees are on an 8-game win streak. That's how they finish.
I have a quick question for you. How long is the break between the wild card and the start of the division series if it goes 3 games? Do you know?
Good question.
Because I'm curious to know, because the reason I ask is because, guys, we've talked about starter length, and we're putting a ton of pressure on Fried, and rightfully so. We pay them a lot of money to take these starts. But if
ALDS is Saturday.
Right. So when's that game 3?
Game 3 would be Thursday.
So you have 1 day off.
But, I mean, that's just like, it's the season.
Right, which technically speaking, this is the good part about it. If the Yankees, you have that day off and you know it's there, the Yankees can burn out, redline, with Bednar, with any reliever that you trust, anyone. Use them however you please. Because we've talked about how one series can lead to another. When you've got a game tomorrow, you've got to consider that game. Oh, that's a must-win tomorrow. Maybe Bednar shouldn't pitch on back-to-back because if we use him here with a 2 or 3 run lead, we can't use him tomorrow. That'd be malpractice. Not in this scenario. The Yankees, if this series, I think this series is going to be much closer than what people may think. I mean, it's the postseason. It's very difficult to win here. But if the Yankees have to use Bednar for the 8th and 9th, maybe twice in this series, so the hell be it. You do it. You throw everything in the kitchen sink at Boston, regardless of how much you trust them to beat us or not. I don't care. You use Bednar. And I will tell you, Jake, I really believe this. Bednar is the only arm I'm throwing a ball to, and I'm going, I trust him out of the bullpen. I see what Devin Williams is doing. I see what other guys are getting out of jams, right? We saw Cruz do it just the other day. I don't definitively trust anyone but Bednar. So use the hell out of David Bednar in this series anytime you can.
Yeah, I hear that. And, another thing I want to put out there when it comes to this series is because I think, like, the Yankees, and I understand the Blue Jays are going to have time and everything. But one, we were just talking about how the Yankees, is that going to be, if you get the 1 seed, right? You have that time off. Is it almost better to be playing and be in that rhythm or be the team that has that long of a break?
What would you say to that? Because Giancarlo said a lot of guys are banged up, but how valuable is it being the hot team, right? What would you rather have? Would you rather be rested or would you rather be the hot team? Because I would say, Jake, just before I let you answer that, you can't win the World Series unless you're the hot team. At some point or another, you have to become the hot team. Last year, I know the Dodgers won the World Series. The hot team, until like later in the postseason, was the Padres, right? San Diego Padres, and this is what Mookie Betts had to say. They were the best team in the world that year, and they just couldn't get over the hump. So I'm curious, would you rather us be rested and I guess all of our relievers are at our disposal, right? Giancarlo's legs are underneath him. He's ready to go. Judge has another extra couple days off. Would you rather have rest, or would you rather say, oh, Judge has it going, right? Stanton has it going. What would you rather see?
It's an interesting question. I think I'd rather be the hot team, and here's why. The Royals gave the Yankees a little bit of a run. The problem is the Royals weren't as talented as the Yankees, but they had the benefit of being hotter than the Yankees because they had just played. And the Yankees looked noticeably rusty. You could tell. So having that time off, the Royals had a shot. They knew that.
Right.
And those games weren't exactly blowouts, right? So I felt like that just came down to a lack of talent. But now, and this is actually where I want to go with this, the benefit of being a wild card team, playing, and you have the talent, and you're a 94-win team instead of an 86-win team, I think there's a huge difference. So I think the Yankees are going to benefit from this. And it's not like you get no rest at all. You get a day off before you play the Rays, the Toronto Blue Jays. But the another thing I want to say is that, believe it or not, folks, this game against the Red Sox will be the first time all year that the Yankees have a fair time with rest with the Red Sox. There's no advantage here.
We have the day off, and that will be Friday, if I'm getting this correct. And they will have Friday off. Great. We both have the same.
I'm talking about Tuesday.
Yeah. Monday. Yeah, Monday. That's between the division series. Same deal. Monday is off. Boston has off. And we get to show up and then play each other. And by the way, I love the point you brought up, because technically speaking, when there's an 86-win team versus a 95-win team, let's say, and the 95-win team is as rested as can be, the 86-win team may be able to throw the first punch because they had to work just to get to your front doorstep and just get this game going. They may throw the first punch, but then the gap in talent eventually materializes in the series.
There's a stagger for sure.
Right. But if you're talking about the Yankees, guys, keep in mind who we're going to run into. Look at the brackets yourself. And I'll tell you as well here on this show, if we beat, right, we're the 4 seed. If we beat Boston, and that's an if, we have to go out and earn that. If we beat Boston, we're now, the hot team, the team that came through a series, and now we play the Toronto Blue Jays. There they are.
Yep.
They are a 94-win team. Jake, how many games did we win again this year?
94.
94. So the talent absolutely is comparable. It is.
It is.
Some people can argue we have more talent, but they played better than us this year, and they've earned that. So, Jake, if we get an opportunity to throw the first punch because we're the hot team, there's a decent chance that Toronto, they don't get up from that.
Yeah, I see. That's my thing. Like I watch UFC, and very rarely do you get the favorite who knows he's the favorite. Like, and the betting odds are crazy high. Like, we're talking minus 650. Everyone knows he's going to win. Why would the favorite be like just going right at the guy, right? But why would the underdog slow play the match? It's David versus Goliath. You're coming out swinging, and you will see that. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to stagger the odds-on favorite, because if you can make it different, well, guess what? Now this fight isn't just everything that it's been. Now you're taking all of this data that you have compiled over the course of a career, of a season, whatever, and now you're making it like this lone event. And that is how teams in sports, teams, the David versus Goliath stories, that is how they provide upsets. Because they don't sit back, they throw that punch. And you know what? They don't back down. They don't care that they're not favorited. When you have the Yankees, who are probably one of the better wild card teams I think we've seen in recent memory, to be honest with you.
They're definitely one of the better teams. So we're flawed, but we're absolutely, we're the team. I mean, people say we have pressure. We always have pressure. What's new? You sign up for the Yankees, you signed up for pressure. So that's nothing new. All the Yankees are seeing pressure in the wild card. And so what? If we won the division, there's pressure. Toronto came out the wild card and saw us in the division series. You think the Yankees don't have pressure? Of course they do.
Maybe they needed it. Maybe last year they got comfortable. Maybe that's what it was, right?
All the pressure. I mean, I'll take all the pressure.
Apoka
with the 10. Also some emojis in there. Which, by the way, we got to get the emojis in there for our members. And again, guys, thank you to all of our members in supporting the channel. Thank you for the 10. It says Juan Soto got paid $121 million from the Mets. That's right, Jake. I don't know if you knew that. With bonuses and all and whatever have you. $121 million with bonuses, salary, all right, all that. 121 to make the playoffs. The Mets fans, they were talking nonstop all season about being the best team in baseball and the best team in New York, just to lose 11 games less. And I would assume he's talking about total that they lost, because I believe they won 87 games last year, and it's like 84. I mean, Mets fans are so volatile right now. I actually tweeted, I said they paid all this money. And mind you, it doesn't mean the Soto deal was terrible. It means your team is terrible. And I said they're arguably going to win 85 games. And in the whole tweet, I don't know if you saw this, Jake, Mets fans were just, panties were in a bunch about me saying they were going to win 85 games. And they didn't even win 85 games. They ended up winning 84. They were so mad. And I tweeted this like a month ago. Why would you get mad at that? I didn't get it. But yeah. Apoga, thank you for the super.
Yeah, I'm glad, and it actually has nothing to do with. It does have something to do with Soto, but I have always stood here and I have said that Steve Cohen is not good at what he does. He's got a lot of money. He's just a fan. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Is he Jerry Jones?
No, because Jerry Jones has actual hardware to prove that he might have known what he was doing at one point or another.
That's a fact, because he traded Herschel Walker. A lot of people don't realize this, but traded Herschel Walker, right? Brings in 4 players for Walker.
Yeah.
And there was in this contract that if you release each of the 4 players, you get draft picks. Well, they released all 4 of those players, and immediately, within 2 or 3 years, the Cowboys were contenders and eventually champions of the world. Obviously, Cohen is much newer than that, and he said, and this was his promise in 2020, within 5 years, we're going to win a title. Well, time's up. It's been 5 years. You have not come close to winning anything.
Yeah.
So,
no, you're
interesting.
Yeah, joke. So, no, I'm not going to mince words. I mean, he acted like he was high and mighty. Oh, we got Soto, and it's like, you have to do more than that. And, I'm sorry, your best chance... I mean, just think about it. How much easier right now it would be for the Yankees if they actually acquired Crochet like they probably should have, right? But the point being,
we were really high on that for sure.
Crochet, Fried, you let him go to the Yankees. Who was the other guy? Burns. Now I know he got hurt, but like in hindsight, how do you not go after a starting pitcher? You know what they did? They're like, we're going to go get Clay Holmes and turn him into a starter. Are you what? And look, like Clay Holmes had a solid year. I'm going to give him credit. But at the same time, it's like it was their way or the highway. But then we're also going to copy the Yankees. And oh, by the way, AJ Mentor, I believe his name was. I didn't forget the dumb shit you said either. It's like, oh, these are the real.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
These are the real fans in New York. Well, be that as it may, the real fans in New York aren't going to be watching their team in the postseason. So, yeah.
Yeah, how does it go? Is it Yankees fans or are they Giants fans, and then Jets fans or Mets fans?
I don't know. I feel so bad for Jets fans, man. Covering them for a year, you just have
to
passionate.
wonder why they don't just give up. And again, it's not me just dunking on it. It's just They haven't done anything to deserve your fandom. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Did like
bad.
watching Darrell Revis, obviously, in New York. But Ninja
real
Hot Dog.
Quick,
Go ahead.
Did you see the thing about Pete Alonso that was going around?
I saw that he is opting out of his contract with the Mets.
And everyone apparently was like, he'd be a great fit on the Yankees. It's like, tell me you've never seen Ben Rice play baseball without telling me you've never seen Ben Rice play baseball. Tell me. Why would he be a great fit? Why? Why would Pete Alonso be a great fit in New York?
You could take the guy who makes $700,000 a year, take him out of first base, do that. He was going to hit 30-plus homers full-time for you, driving over 100, and play average defense. But instead, let's bring in the long-tenured Met, right? The team that we don't like. We're going to bring in the Met on the backside of his career, pay him $30+ million a year to hit 30+ home runs, drive in 100, and that's at best. Why would we pay $30 million for something that we can get for almost for free?
See, this is where people lose me, because I feel like the media wants to make it out to be like a Yankees-Mets thing. That's the fans. That's the fans. I'm telling you right now, Brian Cashman couldn't give two damn shits about the Mets. He is not like, oh, they took Juan Soto, we're going to go after one of their mediocre players. No, he doesn't care.
If we're going after one free agent and there's a free agent out there that we both have interest in, it has to do with our interests, not theirs. Yeah. Oh, they're interested? We've got to go higher.
Yeah, the Mets let their entire thing focus on... Look at how many former Yankees are Mets, right? I mean, that's their thing. You don't have to stoop to that level. That's my thing. Are they probably going to get Trent Grisham? Sure, let them have Trent Grisham. Like, as much as that would annoy me, like, the Yankees will go out and maybe they'll go out and get Kyle Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Yankees aren't going to be focused on, like, they took Trent Grisham from us, so we're going to take Pete Alonso. Well, you're not getting him for free. You're paying him a ton of money, and I don't think, I'll say this right now, I don't think Pete Alonso is better than what Ben Rice is going to be next year. I don't think so.
No, and by the way, to be perfectly clear, guys, we know he's got a catcher's glove and he can catch. We know that.
Yeah.
But Ben Rice, look around baseball. How many catchers in today's game are giving you high production offensively today? And they were doing exactly that 5 years ago. How long is that list, Jake?
I mean...
Is it one or two names long at best?
Yeah.
It's one or two names long, and I'm talking about at best. There are high-paid catchers all around this league. It's not everywhere.
I mean,
it's usually
Will
some defensive
Smith.
Maldonado type guy. Right. Will Smith and who the hell's Real Muto? Guys, the list is short.
Raleigh hasn't been in the league that long.
The list is short. But then how long is the list of first basemen that give you high production this year and they did the same 5 years ago? The list is long.
It is.
That's why Ben Rice is the first baseman next year. It's as simple as that. His expertise is with the bat. It's not as a catcher or a first.
They still have to pay Bellinger. They still have to pay Grisham if they're going to. We don't know if they are. But, like, they still have to pay Volpe his arbitration and Jazz arbitration and all of these freaking relievers. They're going to have to
find
pay.
another Austin Wells. And mind you, like, Austin Wells can be found. Good defensive catcher. He's got some pop. Won't hit for average. He's not really the guy you want up there with runners in scoring position. That's okay. You can find another one of those who's still a solid player when he's got it going. You can replace that. But Ben Rice hit 20-plus homers in part-time work.
I know.
He's now a lefty hitting lefties, high-prize lefties at that. So, yeah, Ben Rice is the first baseman. Ninja Hot Dog with the 2 says, by the way, don't hate me for my voicemail. I just know Ninja's voicemail. It's got to be something about the Rays. We'll see.
How negative?
It's going to be very negative.
1 to 10.
It's going to be,
8.
he'll say a 9.
I'll go 8.
Yeah, that's fair. And so we'll get there, Ninja. We'll get there at some point here. And again, guys, make sure to like the video. Jersey Flow with the 2 says, Gary and Jake, what's your go-to breakfast meal? I'm pretty much nauseous every morning I wake up of the day. It doesn't matter what time I wake up. So a couple bacon slices and I'm out the door. I'm ready to go.
Jeez. I don't eat breakfast, so I fast like a long time. So like typically my breakfast, which would be breaking my fast, would be anywhere between, let's see, say 3 to 7 p.m. And if I'm going to go with that, I mean, all right, so like today, Gary, you would have laughed. I had 5 Guys today. So
That's a hell of a first meal of your day. Your body hates you.
yeah. Well, hey, I earned it with all
It's
that.
all good. I used to eat Skittles to start my day in high school.
No, so typically, I mean, I don't eat like fast food. Like normally on Sundays, I have people come over and for the games, so like I'll just get pizza. But there was a buy one get one 5 Guys, so I told you about that.
The nerve of this guy telling me, oh, the oils. I'm like, oh, and he's going to 5 Guys for breakfast.
Yeah, well,
so.
I'm pretty good about it, but every now and then, like to indulge. But no, I'd say that. And then if I had to go with a breakfast, right, an actual breakfast meal, I like an old school sausage, egg, and Swiss on a pumpernickel bagel with avocados.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I don't like breakfast food. I'm going to be real with you. I don't like any of it. I like bacon. I'll do pancakes, but that's really cake.
Yeah, but
that's cake.
Pancakes
You might as well just give me a slice of cake. It's good, but
just
not.
Get protein. Make protein pancakes. They're easy.
It's really. I guess the problem is not really breakfast. I don't like eggs, but Michael Vincent with a 5. The eggs are disgusting.
They're amazing.
Oh yeah, eggs could just cease to exist. They could tell me eggs were extinct tomorrow, and I'd be like, man.
They're like the best.
They're good in my chicken fried rice at Benihana, but other than that, with no soy sauce and garlic butter doused on them, I'm good on the eggs. I'll give those to my daughter, and even she doesn't like my eggs. If I cook in the morning, she won't touch them.
All right, so now we know what the comment is going to be. Gary is insane.
That's fine. Yeah, no, we'll do that.
If you like eggs, the comment will be Gary is insane. If you don't like eggs, you'd be like Gary is right.
Yeah, man, we'll see what the audience has to say. Michael Vincent with the 5 says Sox fan is back in the building. Says doing the 999 beers, hot dogs, and innings. Jesus, you're gonna be sick as a dog. Says with my Yankees buddy on game 2. Love the show regardless. Don't count out the Sox. We don't count out anyone.
No.
Other than Kansas City and Cleveland last year, we didn't think there was a shot in hell we were going to lose any of those series. We just didn't. And that had to do more with them and not us. It really did. Those teams were not doing any. They had nothing for us. We actually really think Boston is a solid team. We just don't think they're better than us. Can they beat us in this series? Absolutely. They have the starting pitching to go toe-to-toe. Bayo has success against us, maybe not in his last start, but overall he does. Crochet, same deal. We've had a day in the sun against each of these guys, but not overall. So Boston has to say, if we have any chance in this series, our starting pitching's got to shut it down and go deep into these games and get the ball to Chapman. So we'll see what they do, but Michael is going to be sick as a dog. I'd imagine we're not going to see him post-game in game 2. He'll be incapacitated.
You know how to avoid Chapman?
Just don't let them take a lead.
There you go.
And also Chapman has been fairly lackluster in clutch time. He's really never been great in October. So now some of that was during the cheating scandal. We know that. But he's given up some big homers in October. And I know that technically, right, like Mariano Rivera has also given up big hits, right? Mariano Rivera with Luis Gonzalez. But having said that, that comes with the territory of being a closer. But I don't know. I'm not worried about Chapman in this series. I just think overall he can be had in October. So, yeah, let's just don't give him the opportunity. Go hit Crochet. Go hit Bayo. Yeah, let's go hit the road and get to Toronto. Get our passports going.
He's typically kind of like what we talked about. He's typically dominant in the wild card, in the DLS, the LDS, good Lord. And then he gets to the CS or the World Series, and that's when he tends to struggle. Historically.
Interesting.
So.
Okay. So, I mean, let's just not make that a factor. Let's try not to.
Let's not do that.
And Danny Trey with the 5. Thank you for that, Danny. Really appreciate your support of the channel. Says Yankees fans always sound optimistic before the playoffs. Then you realize they're 10-24 record against non-AL Central teams. Thoughts? Yeah, we can dive into that. I think every team is optimistic. And why would you come in October and be like, oh, we'll just lay down? Hey, I just think even if you're a Red Sox fan, right, and you just saw somebody come in here with a super just a second ago, why would they come into this series and be like, oh, the Yankees are better than us, let's just go home? Have some optimism. I think at some point or another, not everyone has to say we're winning the World Series, but you have to walk into your individual series. Unless you're like one of those long shot teams like the Reds, maybe you don't really have as much faith, but you mean to tell me Boston doesn't think they can win a 3-game set? Come on. That would be insane. What do you think about that 10-24 record, though, against non-AL Central teams? Because the AL Central has been pretty weak overall, and we're not going to see the AL Central. So how do you feel about this?
I get what is being said, but I'm not concerned at all. From what I've seen, the Yankees just went through the gauntlet. I think the Yankees got better even going up against these worst teams. I think the iteration of the Yankees that we get in the postseason this year is going to be enough to go back to the World Series, and I've said that. So I'm not really concerned about the record and all of that. Yeah, I don't know.
26-25 against the American League East this season. So about 500.
They rallied because they were way below 5. They were like 11 games below 500 against the AL East.
That's at least what StatMuse says. So I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, but it's what they say. And
it's so
that's
fun
not
to
great,
look up
but
random things like, I don't know, like stuff that StatMuse wouldn't have, and then they give you some random thing.
Oh, it's never what you want, which is why people want AI, but obviously we don't. Brian, obviously the GOAT with the 2, says no eggs. Oh, this is aimed at me. Eagles fan. WTF, Gary? Yeah, I'm an Eagle. There are a lot of Yankees Eagles fans.
Aaron Boone.
There are. Aaron Boone. Right. So, man, you didn't have to remind me of that.
I had to. You deserve it.
But yeah, eggs taste like just Goodyear tires. They don't taste like anything. And they taste good with butter and salt and pepper on them. But you know what? My finger tastes good if I put butter, salt, and pepper on it. If I just lick my fingers and put it in a thing of, I can't believe it's not butter. Delicious.
Eggs don't taste like tires. The hell?
They don't. They taste like nothing until you put something on top of them. Scrambled.
And you don't like scrambled eggs?
No, they taste gross. You know what really the problem is? The texture.
So then make them over easy.
No, I don't like the texture of eggs. That's the real problem. I like something solid. Like hash browns. If you give me hash browns in the morning, great texture, I'll continue to be hungry. But if I'm eating egg, second I swallow once or twice, I'm stuffed, man. I'm nauseous.
You can literally eat hard-boiled eggs. You can eat scrambled
Don't want that
eggs.
either.
You can eat over easy. You can eat sunny side up. You can eat over medium, over hard. Like
if we win the World Series,
deviled eggs.
I will bring a pile of eggs and eat it here on the broadcast. If we win the World Series, so I'll preface that. You guys heard it here first. I hate eggs. Hate eggs. I will eat an egg. But yeah, Brian, again, in all seriousness, thank you.
Are you going to just sit there and just eat eggs like...
Yeah, no, I swear to you. Obviously, I'm going to mute it. There's nothing worse than listening to somebody eat.
You're not going to mukbang everybody?
No, I'm not going to mukbang everybody. And Ness with the 2, our last super, and then we'll get to our voicemails. Ness with the 2 says, Boston, New York winner will be in the American League Championship Series. They have pitching. Interesting.
A pile of eggs. How will they be cooked? I'm still hung up by that.
Oh, well, they're going to be not hard-boiled. No, they're going to be scrambled. They're not going to be Gordon Ramsay style where they're wet. No, they're going to be cooked and browned. That's what it has to be. That. Okay. So what do you think about this? That if Boston beat us, right, which is absolutely possible, if the Red Sox beat us, I think we can all agree they probably have better starting pitching than Toronto. They also have better closing pitching than Toronto. So do you think Boston has enough firepower offensively to hang with Toronto in a 5-game set?
I think whoever wins this is going to win. I might even go as far as say this is the ALCS.
Okay, because I think I had it if we lose to Boston, Toronto's going to make easy work of Boston because they're not going to have their ace going in that series to start the series, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I had Toronto and Seattle in the championship series if that's going to be the way.
I just don't think Seattle's that great.
I mean, they're not, but who is?
I think these are probably the two best teams in the AL.
But Seattle's on the other side of the bracket. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Seattle doesn't run into Toronto. They don't run into Boston. They don't run into any of these teams. Seattle's just on the other side playing some of the wild card teams that are going to be fluffing into in their bracket. I do think.
Speaking of the bracket, let's pull that up.
Yeah, let's pull up the bracket. Let's do that.
Let's pull up
But Ness,
the bracket.
thank you for that. You forced us to pull up the bracket.
Look at that beauty. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful?
It's about time. It's about time.
Yeah.
So
'Cause you and I
my
have been ready
goodness,
for the
do the
postseason
Dodgers.
for
They
a
should
while.
have an easy time. If they don't,
that won't be a close one.
Dave Roberts would have a tough offseason.
All right, let's predict, Gary. Now that we know, we know. All right, right here. Who we going with?
Where's your mouse?
Oh, my bad. Right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go, man, this is tough because I feel like we made predictions and then my predictions aren't even going to line up with what they were yesterday, but, whatever. Here we go. Okay, so clearly Cleveland's the hot team. Detroit is the more talented team. Give me Cleveland.
Cleveland's at home for all three.
Yep.
Give me Cleveland as well. Boston, New York. Are we both
Give me
going
New York.
Okay. So Seattle versus Cleveland.
Give me Seattle.
I'm going to take Seattle as well.
Yep.
Hot
So there's your
is
championship
great.
series invite.
This to me is Yankees Royals all over again. More talented, hotter.
I see that.
You run out of talent, the hot kind of goes away. Doesn't matter because they're too talented. Okay. Yankees, Blue Jays. I got the Yankees. What about you?
I have the Yankees I think it'll be over by game 4. Yankees.
Yankees are the better team in my opinion, so Yankees. Okay. Yankees, Seattle. I got the Yankees.
Okay. Man. I'm going to go Seattle.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And by the way, you can easily talk me down from this just for the simple fact we played Seattle well. But we also didn't see Seattle post moves.
That's true.
As many as they
That's a good
made.
point.
So it's not like they traded for their best player. It wasn't anything like that. But it does change the trajectory of what you're doing, the momentum, all of that, right? Their lineup looks completely different. Now, Seattle has the pitching to deal with the Yankees. They have the pitching to deal with anybody on either side, National League, American League. The issue for Seattle is scoring. I think what they have offensively will be just enough to win probably a 7-game series against the Yankees, and they're going to have home field. So I think we're going to lose in a Game 7 scenario in Seattle.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to stick with. And I don't hate to say that. Obviously, you want to just say your team's going to win the World Series, but I'm trying to be genuine here.
I'm going to be genuine here and say that the Yankees are going to beat Seattle.
I love that.
I just think you're absolutely wrong. And yeah, you can eat shit, Gary. No.
It's completely fair because, we played Seattle well. And some of their pickups, some of them have been great, right? Naylor's been great. But also they brought in guys like Suarez. Suarez has picked it up a little bit, but he struggled, since he got to Seattle. So I don't know. I think Seattle is going to move on. Obviously, you have the Yankees. So we have different answers there, but at least we're close.
Yeah, I liked your reasoning until I realized that it's just wrong. No, I'm kidding. But no, I liked your reasoning, except I would also use as a counter, the Yankees are different. I think the Yankees are a better team than what they faced. And so the Yankees have the experience against them. We know that they can play in Seattle. We know Judge hits well in Seattle, right? A lot of batters struggle in Seattle, right? The batter's eye, remember I was telling you about?
Yes.
Judge doesn't. So also the Yankees, most of that roster has been there, done that. They won the ALCS. They won a tough
the good
one
part,
against
though,
the Guardians.
About that Seattle series, a lot of people have complained when you mentioned the hitter's eye. Mm-hmm. A lot of that is hitting during the day. Huge problem.
Yeah.
Ton of glare. That's an issue. The one thing about the championship series, if you're going to match up with Seattle, hitters eye shouldn't be as much of a problem because we should be playing at night.
Yep.
Home games are going to be played West Coast. And of course, home games for Seattle are played on the West Coast. Home games for us are going to be played at night, clearly.
Yes.
So we are not going to have a problem. That's the good news. There shouldn't be any problems with seeing the ball. So yeah. And then what do you have in the National League? I'll go ahead and pick. I'll pick from the top down.
Yeah.
We both have the Dodgers winning that series. That would be ridiculous. If Cincinnati wins, that'll
be over in one game. They won't even show up to the second one. It's just
they'll just hit the showers, fire up the bus. That series is over. So we can move on from that. San Diego, Chicago. San Diego's offense has just been dismal. I know Tatis has really got it going. I'm gonna say Tatis is red hot enough at the top of their lineup where he's gonna be a difference maker, major factor. Love what they have in their bullpen. I think it'll narrowly 3-game set. San Diego wins a game 3 in Chicago, moves on to see the Brewers.
Okay, I am going to go Chicago.
Okay.
I think Chicago is a better, well-rounded team. I think the Padres have been incredibly disappointing. I think some of their additions, like a Mason Miller, could really show up. But I trust the Cubs more. I think the Cubs are more consistent. I like their team more, so I'm going to go with the Cubs. So then it's the Cubs and Brewers and the Phillies and Dodgers. It's like, man, I don't know why. I look at that red with the white, P logo, and I just kind of see them playing the Yankees in the World Series, and yet I'm still going against my gut, and I feel like it's going to be the Brewers. So Phillies over the Dodgers for me, Brewers over the Cubs, and I think the Brewers and Yankees play in the World Series, and I think the Brewers win.
Okay. So I had Seattle in the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, does that feel weird? I mean, first off, it could just be terrible. You can literally just have Cleveland go win their wild card set and just bounce Seattle because, I mean, it could happen for sure. They've got a lot of boomer bust guys in their lineup too. They could be sent packing. So Seattle's my AL. I'm going to go, since we've got Dodgers-Philly, I'm going to say Philadelphia edges out the Dodgers in the first round, I guess if you want to call it the first round of the division series. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia moves on there. San Diego, Milwaukee. San Diego's hitting better. Like I said, Tatis is red hot right now. They're starting to get going. I think it gets them through that Chicago series. But with Milwaukee's staff, Peralta, right, the whole crew that they've got,
yeah,
I'm a little worried with San Diego's offense in that series. I'm going to go Milwaukee. So let's go Milwaukee, Philadelphia. Man. My head says Milwaukee. Man, even my heart says Milwaukee just because Philadelphia, they lost Zach Wheeler.
I think that's going to matter. I know they
don't have their
job,
ace.
But
And you have to remember what it took to get them where they went. Oftentimes, they would use Zach Wheeler in short rest. He was dynamite in his starts to begin with. You can make an argument Zach Wheeler has been the best postseason starter of the past 5 years. So that matters. But you can also say Ronald Acuna Jr. would be super important in a postseason run. And the Braves were like, he's all right. We're going to go win anyways. We had deadline pickups. We're fine. Win the World Series anyways. So can Philadelphia do what the Atlanta Braves did in 2021? I'm going to say they fall short in that series. They run out of starting pitching they can trust. Milwaukee, Seattle, just what the commissioner wanted. And I'm going to go with Seattle, World Series champions.
Okay. So, yeah, that would be a record low of watch time, I would say. Also,
I don't even know if I would watch it.
I would not watch it. I would have zero interest. I'd be rooting for the Brewers from afar. Have the game cast on, and that would never grace my screen.
Yeah, and guys, from a technical standpoint, Seattle is going to be the better team in every series that they see until they get to the championship series where I think they're pitching. Like, I think Seattle would for sure beat Toronto, but I'm not for sure on the Seattle beating us. That's what I would say. So it's going to be a close series. And, when you look at people's bracket, by the end, they're all wrong. They're always wrong every single time. Somewhere, some way, Chicago just goes through to the championship series and then beats somebody and goes to the World Series. And you're like, oh, I didn't expect him. What are they going to do with Kyle Tucker? It's baseball's baseball. Whoever's going to get hot. Last year it was the Padres. I said they were the best team in baseball in 2024. Who's it going to be this year? Who's going to be the team that is the hottest team in ball? I don't know. I really don't. Maybe it's a wild card team. You never know.
Oh, by the way, can confirm because there was a game going on when we were recording.
Okay.
The Packers and Cowboys just tied.
No,
40-40. They scored 80 points and they tied. I would literally just never watch football again. I'd be done. I'd be done.
Welcome to Cowboys Unloaded. That is unbelievable. Jerry Jones has to be furious. They need to interview him right this second.
So no one won the revenge game, the Parsons revenge game. Yeah, no one won that.
That's impressive, by the way, from the Cowboys to even tie the game, at least. I think everyone thought they would have lost this game. At least I would have. But Brian with the 5, thank you for the super and supporting the channel, says we need 2009 A-Rod version of Judge to win the World Series this year. I would agree, right? This is 2 all-time great players. You need to play all-time great at some point in the postseason for us to be like, oh yeah, we're winning a World Series. I completely agree. He has to show up. Agree. These regular season stats mean nothing until he produces. No, they mean something. It should win him the MVP. They just won't mean anything at first pitch. It won't. It doesn't. Oh, with the context, look how well he played. No one will care how well you played if you don't play well next week. So let's see what he does. Jake, I think you and I both think he's just going to be electric. And he'll do a little less, chase pitches a little less, trust his lineup. Your time will come. You're going to get in there with bases loaded, man on third and maybe first and second, 1 out. You're going to have a time once or twice in a series where we say, oh, this is the at-bat, where 99 can flip it on its head and say, oh, Boston can't go to that depth. We can because we've got 99. I think he'll cement himself at least by the division series if we get there. So I'm excited for it.
I'm just waiting.
Judge.
I'm just waiting for the MVP moment where Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge are going after it in the ALCS. And Raleigh comes up with the bases loaded, and he strikes out, trying to hit a grand slam. And Judge comes up with the bases loaded and serves it into left field, scores 2. And that's the difference. That's why Judge gets walked. That's why Raleigh gets thrown at, right? I think that's going to happen. I do. I think Aaron Judge is going to have a huge moment. And to be fair, he had a huge moment. World Series, he hits a home run. Huge home run.
Class A.
ALCS, hit a huge home run. Mm-hmm. So he had some moments, but I think you're going to string those together and you're going to see, wow, Judge was good in the postseason.
Yeah, because like A-Rod hit the walk-off homer off Nathan, right? He had moments just like Judge did, right? But it was also what happened in between. It was the total package. He was, okay, he's 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 2 for 2 with 2 walks, right? He's all over the game. He is stamping himself in the game, making his presence felt. He established that in 2009. I'm looking for just consistent. That guy's a problem. I think if we can say that about Aaron Judge throughout the postseason, the Yankees shouldn't lose to any of these teams. But if Aaron Judge, in a way, does what he's done before, where he has a couple moments, but for the most part, we're waiting on Bellinger or Soto, or we're waiting on Verdugo to sprinkle in some help, you're going to be disappointed. Your best player has to perform, unless you've got some super team. You've got maybe a Freddie Freeman, a Mookie Betts to rely on, like Ohtani did, where he had a couple slow series. He can rely on some of those guys. We don't really have exactly that level of talent to rely on. So go out there, be Aaron Judge. If he can do that, we've got a great shot. But Jake, anything else before we hop over to our voicemails?
Yes, so I don't forget. Okay.
Okay.
I forgot yesterday.
Yes.
So shout out to a viewer of ours, Mike Epi, who I met at a coffee shop.
Yes.
The other day.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
It was crazy. Nicest dude you've ever met, right? He's a huge fan of the show. So I want to give a shout out to Mike. Really nice meeting him. And it just felt really cool because I've gotten like recognized before in my hometown, and that's cool. But there was something about this time where I just didn't have any idea like it was going to happen. I'm waiting for my cousin to get to the coffee shop, and he just is like, "Hey, you're Jake." And it was like, the LA hoodie gave it away. And I was like, the LA hoodie gave it away? Like, he's just like, yeah, I was just listening. He's like, I watch every single, Yankees Unloaded. And no, he's great. So shout out to Mike. And,
you're famous, Jake.
Yeah, but hey, Gary, that'll be us getting recognized left and right as this thing progresses. But hey, for now, in the words of my grandpa Dave, he always told me to focus on, no matter how little, how big, how small, whatever, always focus on every accolade and give it a little moment of celebration. And I just thought that was really cool because, man, I'm not one of those people that's like, I don't want to meet people, leave me alone. Like, I'm like, bring it on, right? I thought that was cool. So
yeah, it's fair.
So,
I mean, some people definitely don't want. They want to do their podcasting, and then when it's done, it's done. You get to walk around. Like what's his name? Married to Jennifer Lopez. Was married to Jennifer Lopez, I should say. Anyone, can they help me out? You know who I'm talking about? Hates the media. God, it's killing me.
Hates the media?
Yes, and I know him so well, too. It's driving me absolutely up a wall. The comment section will know. I mean, dude, he was... All right. J-Lo's ex-husband.
That hates the media.
Oh, yeah, Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is a super famous actor. He's one of the best actors ever. I mean, some people would have him outside that list, but great actor. He hates being famous. If he could be a fly on... That's fair, right? Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
But Ben Affleck, if he could be a fly on the wall, he would love to be. Just disappear and just be rich and just be left alone. But no, I think, Jake, you and I both are pretty social.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with either.
We don't care.
And I can't stress that enough. I mean, the way I've always seen it is you have a right to be however you want to be. And I give a lot of respect to Chris D'Elia, the stand-up comedian. Met him in Studio City.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing him the night before and meeting him the night before. I sat at the VIP table. His parents were there. Chris Paul was sitting next to Alexis and I. It was really cool. Chris Paul, yeah.
Like Chris Paul, like the State Farm Chris Paul?
Yes.
Wow.
State Farm. That's where your head goes now?
Yeah.
Not like up 40, hits a shot?
Nope. No. I've erased that from my brain. Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul. He was good during the regular season, but not during that point. No, I think of him as a State Farm
That's
ambassador.
So funny. Well, yeah, so Chris D'Elia, I saw him the next day. We were at Jones on 3rd in Studio City, and went up to him, and he's like, oh, thank you so much. Like, and it was like, I wasn't going to go up to him, but I just saw his show, and and then you see the other side of it, right? Oh, there's the black shirt mention.
Yeah, I told you. I was going to say something, but I wanted to let you finish.
Yeah, no. And there's the other side of it, Gary. And this is actually really funny because it happens all in the same location. Alexis, my co-host of Downtown Rams, we're at Jones on 3rd. And in the back, like, we get a table. And this thing is packed, right? This is the coffee shop where everybody in Studio City goes, right? This place is popular. You can find celebrities everywhere. And you ever see That 70 Show?
No.
Okay, have you ever heard of
Obviously, I've heard of it.
Topher Grace?
No.
Okay, he plays Eric from Eric Foreman. The main character in That 70 Show?
Topher Grace. Yes, I know exactly who this is. Yep.
Yes. So, okay, that's cool. So Topher comes over, right? And he's wearing like this... you can't even tell it's him, but you can at the same time. He's got goggles on. He looks ridiculous, right? So he comes over to our table and he's like, hey, is it cool if I like snag this table? Like I'm trying to stay out of the public eye. We're like, yeah, that's totally fine. So like we gave him like our table. We were done, right? So it wasn't like taking our table, but and then like Alexis like, oh my God, that's Eric Foreman. Like that's Topher Grace. And then afterwards, like, and that's the point, is that Topher was really relaxed and like didn't want to be seen by anybody. So much so he came up to us and was like, hey, could you like let me have this table in the back? I'm trying to stay out. But then I walk to the front of Jones on Third, and Chris D'Elia is just there chilling with like his friends, and he's just like talking. And you go up to him and you're like, oh, you know, you were great last night. And you're like, oh, appreciate it, man. Like it's just a whole different thing. So it's just
I think if I was that famous, I get it.
Yeah,
These
it's just a reminder. Like people are just different. You know, everybody's different. It's not one size fits all. Fame affects people differently. And also, you know, some people like constantly, and honestly, like Topher Grace could be like the most talkative guy, and just that day he just felt like dressing up and like a whole get up and everything, so no one
some
knew who he
people
was.
don't like being approached.
Yeah,
and I think I told you the time where God, couldn't remember what, I think it might have been Mark McGuire. He told me to go tell Randy Johnson to open up a Gatorade bottle for me, and he just told me to piss off. This was during an All-Star game.
Mark McGuire was an asshole?
No, Mark McGuire was great.
Oh, okay.
Randy Johnson.
Oh, Randy Johnson.
But Randy Johnson's not, he's an asshole periodically. Like if you talk to him at the wrong time, I have a few Randy Johnson stories, and I've told you a few of them. But yeah, it's just some people, they want to be left alone, which is completely understandable. Yeah. But yeah, Jake, let's get to our voicemails. How many we got, by the way? We should have a few given what's occurred.
Yes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, well, let's get to
99 sliding that one in there at the end.
Okay, cool. Who's leading off? And we can get our bracket off the screen, I think.
Oh, yeah.
For that sucker.
Yeah.
Burns in, because we don't want to sign off when people are looking at the Tigers, yeah.
Yeah, no. We gave those people their logos. They should be paying us at this point for how much free publicity we just gave to the Reds.
Will we cover that, by the way, if the Yankees just lose in 2 games in this series to Boston? Will we...
No guarantees. We'll figure things out.
No guarantees, but we'll think about it. We'll think about it.
We'll figure things out, because we obviously love hanging with you guys, and I mean, we know people are baseball fans aside from just Yankee fans. So yeah, we'll play it by ear. How about that? As my mom has said since I was a little kid, and I never knew what it meant until recently. All right, Guy, you are our Trent Grisham. You're leading off as always.
Hello, everyone. Looking at the Rays and Toronto, hoping it's a low-scoring one-run game because we absolutely need the Rays to win. So I guess we'll go with the 4-3, although that's not an official prediction. It's just what we're kind of all wishing for. I like how Jake was analyzing this game, of the last game of our year here. His key points made by both Jake and Gary that our bullpen's very fresh, meaning it keeps the Orioles score down. Yesterday, Cam deserves all the credit in the world. He's a bona fide number 1 in the making. But the Orioles also seem like they're just ready to go home. My pick yesterday was the over, which was a loser, and dropped my record to 15-4.
No.
That's a
because
flex.
of the great performance by Cam and the Orioles not getting the 3 runs I picked. And the Yankees stalled at 6, which my score was 7-3. So win some, lose some. Okay, today's pick, with everything that's been said, following Jake's under, but like the great Lee Corso said of ESPN, not so fast, my friends. I'm going against the trend, and the Yankees will get a minimum of 7 this time. And the Orioles, I think, can score 3. I'm going over the total. Yeah, I know. Maybe I'm on a losing streak. I don't know. All right.
Losing streak guy, huh?
Losing streak guy. Yeah, did I actually predict the exact score today? I think I either had 3-2 or 4-2, but I had the under. Yeah,
I think we both had the under. I don't remember what the scores were. I mean, it's a
I'm not going back. I don't
It's all
care that
gone.
much. I already
Yeah.
did that with the Rams podcast. We're good.
Yeah,
I
but
called
Guy,
3
thank you
things
for
that
the
happened.
voicemail. I mean, you shouldn't listen to us. Very clearly, you know what you're doing. You're now
Yes.
15-5, so it's pretty good. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of people in this room, we gamble too. It doesn't look like 15-5, so well done.
Negative. It does not look like 15-5, and well done. All right, Kyle Malay. Damn, this thing is. This is
I'm
a
going to
long
go
one.
over under 8 buzzes.
Hey guys, Kyle Malay here. Well, the Yankees did their job, the Rays did not. So we're gonna be the wild card team, and we're gonna face the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. We're gonna enjoy our off day tomorrow because there's gonna be a lot of stress Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Because I believe it's gonna go all 3 games. Because I believe. I hate to say this, but I think the Red Sox are going to take game 1. Then the
Okay.
Yankees are going to win 2 in a row. Because, I mean, yes, Max Fried is great, but Crochet is even better. But, hey, who knows? Anything could happen in the postseason. But hopefully the Yankees show up tomorrow or on Tuesday and win a ball game. Hopefully I'm wrong about that loss on Tuesday. And, man, I just wish the Rays could have at least won 1 game. Like, they weren't even competitive.
Nope.
Oh, I can't stand the freaking Blue Jays. But the Yankees did it to themselves with that June thing, whatever they have every year. Where
Very
they can't
true.
play baseball for 2 months to save their lives. But
100%.
oh boy, but what are you gonna do? Let's all have a good night. Enjoy your off day tomorrow. And one more thing, Juan Soto picked the wrong team. His team didn't even make the postseason. But that's for some other show. But yeah, let's all have a good night and go Yankees. Let's go win this World Series. I believe you can win it because you're the hottest team right now. But let's all have a good night and go Yankees.
0 buzzing.
Yeah, he may have invested in some AirPods there. I'm not sure what happened. But, Kyle, thank you for the voicemail, obviously being a diamond level member with Yankees Unloaded. That's interesting because that doesn't make me comfortable at all. A game 1 loss is not good. At
No.
Yankee Stadium, it's not good at all, which is
Absolutely
why the wild card worries you. Anyone can lose 1 game to anybody. Anybody. The Dodgers were swept this year by Pittsburgh. So were they playing it like a postseason series? No, it's not a perfect comparison. But it goes to show you that anyone can get up for a short period of time. This, by definition, is a short period of time. The good news is the game is, we have a day off and then we go play this game. Jake, there's not like this whole hangover. We're going to be waiting around and it may take us 15 innings to get going. We should be ready. Game 1. Go win game 1 because if we don't, I'm sweating immediately.
Yeah, they're gonna win game 1. They're not gonna get, because you give that up and now the Red Sox have flipped. I mean, it is the upside down.
We're now no longer even close to the favorites. If you lose game 1 in a 3-game set, you obviously should be the underdogs at that point, and now it's a comeback. We can't have that. So
No, and that won't happen. They're not gonna win.
man, I hope not. Anywho, who's batting third?
Ninja Hot Dog is our Aaron. I'm not gonna say that. You're Cody Bellinger here.
Yeah, you're batting third.
What up, Jake? I know you were so hopeful that we would make it through. And I
Oh.
really did too, but I honestly do think you kind of jinxed it. But besides the point,
Jinxing doesn't
we
exist.
make it through.
Nope.
The Rays didn't. They will no longer be allowed to Steinbrenner Field. In my book, you want my honest opinion? Crochet and Bello will shut us out. I hope that doesn't. I really hope that doesn't happen. This is a really talented team, and they deserve more than a wild card elimination. But I think in the end, it's gonna go down like the Mets in 2022. We had a good streak, but we couldn't make it through. I really hope we do better than that. I'm gonna be at the second game of the wild card, So I really hope we get to see us win the series out there. But I am not very satisfied with how it went out today. I still think we kind of jinxed it. But besides the point, Rays are little douchebags. I think what we have to be worried about is
He
the
slid
Blue
that
Jays
in there.
bullpen.
Yeah.
Because they really raced today. And that is not something I want to play against. Like, remember when they were saying after the deadline that we had the best bullpen ever? That's what the Rays have right now. They took out Gossman in, like, the fourth inning, and they raced the entire time. You have to be scared of them. They really deserve it. They were the better team than us this year. We're very talented, and I think we have potential, but based off of these circumstances, I just really don't see it turning out well. I want to see it go well. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm happy about this. We have tickets to the ALCS. I would love to go to that, but right now, I'm nervous. I don't have that great of an outlook. I know you guys are going to call me a downer like usual, but I'm just speaking my truth. And if we win the wild card, I'll come out and give a full apology at the stadium. So let's see what happens. Ban the Rays from Steinbrenner Field.
No Fire Baboon. You have them losing 2 straight. No Fire Baboon.
Nobody
No.
should be convinced. Hey, guys, just make the Yankees go out and prove it to you. Make
Yeah.
Aaron Judge go out and prove it to you. Make Max Fried, who doesn't have good postseason numbers, make him prove it to you. Who cares? There's nothing wrong with that. And guess what? Ninja, if they go out there and hit Crochet, guess what everyone in this comment section is going to be saying? Oh, the Yankees have proven something to me. They
Yep.
can hit one of the game's best pitchers under pressure. No one's going to sit here and be reserved after that happens. So let's just give them the runway to go do that. If we have predictions, that's fine. But let's not get negative about what's going to happen before it's even happened. And we're playing these games for a reason.
Yeah, no, of course. And I mean, Ninja, obviously, we're just joking on that end. You could be as negative as you want. I mean, speaking of negative, where's Willie Downer? I haven't seen him in a minute.
I haven't seen him in a while either. He'll be back.
I haven't seen your mom in a while. How's she doing?
I don't see her either. But
Okay.
no. But
Well,
anywho,
we're rooting for them both in whatever they're doing. Oh,
whatever endeavors. Who's hitting fifth?
oh my God.
Fire Baboon.
Are you kidding me?
All right. Hitting.
Thank you, Ninja.
So this is Stanton here. We got
Okay.
Ed W. There's no Aaron Judge. I'm sorry. Love all of you. None of you are Aaron Judge. There's not a single Aaron Judge out there. End of
Aaron
story.
Judge is probably Guy of the gambling.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Ed W is our Giancarlo Stanton here.
Hey guys, Ed W here. Apologize for what might be a little bit of a longer than usual voicemail, but there is something I felt like I needed to say. I have to tell you that I am a grateful former Mets fan. I grew up a Mets fan. This is my 23rd season as a Yankee fan. And I didn't leave the Mets because they did what they did this season or because of poor play. I left as a Mets fan because they refused to sell me handicap seating to take my grandfather to games on a season basis. And the Yankees with class said, how many do you need? How many would you like? Where would you like to sit? And what was the nature of the disability? And since then, I have been in love with the Yankees ever since 2003. And I got to tell all the Mets fans out there that when they finally feel like they've hit rock bottom and they're finally done with the insanity, there is a community of Yankees fans waiting to accept them with open arms. Just thought I should mention that. But it looks like at the end of this season, which I am super proud of, that God did for the Yankees what they couldn't do for themselves. They stopped them from getting Juan Soto, and this lineup that is going up against the Red Sox with Cody Bellinger and Grisham playing the outfield and Ben Rice and Max Fried, it actually looks like a lineup that can win. What I don't invite is all the discussion about who we should be playing, all the fear about Garrett Crochet, the extra round. We just need to man up, stop complaining, make no excuses, and win some games. That's it. We've got a bullpen that has proven over the last few days they can do it. We just got to go, let's go Yankees, show up to the games, root for our team, and just do it. We got the best. We have the team who's tied for the third best record in the league. Third best record in the league. This is an amazing team. I am curious from you guys to know who you would recommend batting against the lefties. Do we hit Rosario? All I think is it doesn't really matter what we do, but we need Ryan McMahon playing the left side of the infield with Rodon in free pitching, and we absolutely need Ben Rice in the lineup. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share that little tidbit about the Mets and about what frustrated Mets fans might want to be thinking about, and to solicit some thoughts from you guys about this stuff. Thanks a lot.
Man, thank you for the voicemail. That's awesome.
Story.
And by the way, Jake, I love this because what it's really saying, if you just, to summarize it briefly, who gives a damn who we play? Cares.
No, absolutely.
Who cares? You run into Philadelphia, they have Zach Wheeler now, who gives a rat's ass? You run into the Dodgers and Tyler Glasnow's on the mound, who cares? He's beatable. You run into San Diego, you run into Chicago, you run into Milwaukee. We've played those teams, each and every one of them. And we've had success against all of them except for the Dodgers. And you know what? Even if you haven't, do it now. We didn't have success against Toronto up until a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And then we went out there and dominated. We didn't have success against the Red Sox. We went into Fenway Park. A lot of people said, 2 of 3, we'll be swept. We went in there and said, who gives a rat's ass? Let's go beat this team. And we did that. So I understand people may be concerned with Crochet, Scooble, whatever have you in game ones, and it matters in the series. They're factors. But they're just factors. And you know what about factors? You can just punch it in the mouth anyway. You can hit all these pitchers. Every pitcher in baseball history is hittable. So go out, and the big question mark for the Yankees is, what do they do against good pitching? That has to do with us, not the good pitching. What we do. What type of adjustments do we make? Do we run the bases hard? Do we run them smart? That doesn't have anything to do. You're going to face good pitching. That's just common sense. But Jake, I'm with him here. I really am. I don't care who Toronto's got to throw. If we do what we're supposed to do, we should move on each and every time.
The way I see it is this. I mean, the miracle on ice happened. And if you don't actually know what that is, essentially 1980, Lake Placid. It was a Olympic game, hockey, where the United States team was full of like collegiate athletes and essentially amateurs. None of them were professional. And they went up against the Soviet Union full of professional hockey players. And they won. And no one thought they would win. And I'm looking at the Yankees and I'm like, they won 94 games. They're not David. So why do we try to conjure this story about why a team that won 94 games, a team that many of us believe is really good, is the David in this story? Maybe they're just the Goliath, and this is just the essentially the sad ending, the bad ending, the bad guy won, right? And the Yankees are the bad guy, the evil empire. Like, why can't they be that? And so, yeah, I always kind of look at that and I'm like, but as far as what Ed said, I've heard a lot of different answers as to why like somebody's left a team. Like I left the Detroit Red Wings because I picked them when I was 4 because my favorite color was red. My dad never had me liking a certain hockey team. So I just picked the Golden Knights, and then eventually I liked the Devils as well because I was going to Devils games. It's that simple.
Yeah, I like the Golden Knights too. They followed me on Twitter, so they've got my fandom. I'm kidding. I don't watch them. But
yeah. So anyway, the point being is that everyone has like kind of a story about like why they became a fan or why they stopped being a fan. And I thought Ed's story was incredibly moving because that I don't think I've ever heard that. And that right there, that's why the little things for some people, the little things for some corporations and businesses, what have you, actually are not little. They're actually huge. And it cost the Mets Ed's fandom. So
it's pretty wild.
That is really wild. When you think about that, that's huge. Like the Yankees pissed me off when we drove 3 hours out there to see them.
Oh, they didn't let you reschedule? That was crazy.
Awful, right? They're like, oh, yeah, you can go to the game tomorrow. It's like, I don't live anywhere near here. Like 3 hours away isn't just a hop, a skip, and a jump.
Yeah, you need to be careful because I mean, a ton of customers.
You do.
They don't have the ability to just show up and take work off next week. Or tomorrow. They don't. They drove in and that's their day. And if it doesn't happen today, it has to happen months later. And yeah, you need to take care of your fans.
Clearly 500 people care. More over 500 people care. So I don't know.
No, and also most importantly, the most important part about it, Jake, is that he cares. That's why he's here commenting. So again, Tommy, thank you for the algorithm,
Appreciate
the help.
that.
We appreciate you being in the live.
Chris
Jake,
99.
Chris 90's not next. He's next.
He's got a long one, but yeah, Chris.
Oh, he's got a scroll. Chris, let it fly.
The Elder Scroll. This is the last one.
There are a lot of scrolls.
What's going on, guys? Quick voicemail. A little under the weather, but good win, 162. Unfortunately, couldn't get the division, but again, that's on us. You could go back to many games, and especially during the dog days of summer and August, that we should have won and didn't win, and we're in the spot that we're in, and that's it. But now we move on to Boston. I do feel pretty good in this series. Again, this is a different team. This is post deadline. Now we've kind of got to see who's going to be playing more regularly, who's gotten hot, and we kind of saw against that series against Boston, the most recent one, what this team could be, and I feel like that's going to be the team that they get, especially since we're coming off an 8-game win streak. This is going to be a much better team. Hopefully, this gets guys like Aaron Judge going, considering we're not having a week off of baseball, and these guys can continue to ride the hot wave. So hopefully that's what happens. I do have a lot of confidence in this team. Depending on who starts, that's going to be a question, considering Goldie's a lefty, whatever. My opinion is you need to have the best guys out there. I don't care if you're a respected veteran. You need to have the best guys out there. If they put Austin Slater out in that lineup, I would go ballistic. I would actually go insane. But you need to have Rice in that lineup. I don't know what you do with Wells, with Goldie. I'm not sure what they do. All I know is that Rosario's 100% going to start. But, again, shouldn't be Slater. But we'll see what they do. I have high hopes. I will be going to the game. I did get my playoff ticket, so I'm locked and loaded. Hopefully they pull the dub, and hopefully this team has a ton of special moments in October, and hoping for a ton more shows. So let's go Yankees, and let's go win a damn World Series.
Heck yeah.
That was a nice voicemail. So thank you
like
for that. Jake,
the Slater
interestingly,
stuff was making me laugh. Not gonna lie.
yeah, by the way, I actually really agree with that take.
I do too.
Is that platooning is good, right? To try and tee up your best chance to hit Crochet. I mean, that's going to be the key to game one, obviously, other than what Freed does on the mound himself. But don't overthink the outfield. Don't overdo that. Okay? When you're going to create the outfield, just put Trent Grisham out there. Just make that decision. The Yankees need to field their position, and also Grisham just, in my opinion, has earned the right to be out there. I'm not doing any platoon jobs that we saw in the regular season in those positions. I really like our outfield. I do. And I think Jason Dominguez will have a larger role than what people think in October. I think he's going to get some burn in some of these series, obviously the longer it goes. But there's not really any reason to go out there and throw some of your bench players just because they're a guy you like to spin against lefties and just utilize them just for the sake of using them. You have to keep in mind of who you're taking bats away from. And I'm just not doing it with Slater. But when you're talking about who's going to be playing like a Rosario at third base in front of McMahon, or Paul Goldschmidt platooning against a lefty at first base instead of Rice, those make sense because we did it consistently the whole year.
Yeah, Slater has never gotten a hit off of any of the two pitchers that the Yankees are facing, in Bayo or Crochet. So nothing. I have no issue there. He's only seen 3 at bats, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. I'm gonna say this right now. Okay, I'm gonna call my shot.
Okay. Yeah.
Crochet game. Okay. Rosario is gonna be huge. Bellinger is gonna be the MVP of the wild card. He's going to.
Okay.
He has great splits against both. So he has 357, 929 OPS against Crochet, and then against Bayo, he's got a 400 batting average and a 1400 OPS with 2 home runs in 10 at bats. So he's seen Bayo well. And Anthony Volpe, I think, is going to be the surprise here. I think Anthony Volpe is going to have a great wild card series. I'm saying that right now. I think he, Bellinger.
You like to live dangerously.
Yeah, Bellinger. So I think Volpe is going to hit well in both games. I think Bellinger's going to hit well in both games.
Okay.
I think Rice is going to hit well in both games, and I'm going to go with Jazz Chisholm in the second game. I think Jazz Chisholm is going to come through in a big way. He's got good splits against Bayo, 945 OPS, a 412 on base.
Curious how Jazz feels, by the way.
I actually think Judge is going to scare the shit out of people, and here's why. I think Judge is going to have a down wild card round, and then he's going to be the reverse of last year, and then he's going to turn it on in the ALDS, ALCS, and into the World Series.
Okay. I mean,
it's only
I can
2
see
games,
Crochet
so
controlling Judge in game 1.
He does have
but
good
once it
splits
gets to
against
Bayo and it gets to their 3, if it goes 3 games, of course it still has to. It's part of the series. I think after game 1, Judge starts to really cement himself. I do. Now, I agree with you. Bellinger's going to be huge in this. He's got reverse splits. Game 1's against a lefty, one of the best. And he takes great at bats against Crochet. So, yeah, I think the prediction of Bellinger being super important, I'm just so curious what they're going to do with Grisham. If they're going to go lefty on lefty, or if they're going to bring out somebody to play for him. I think that'd be a mistake defensively, but we'll see what they do, of course.
He's 0 for 3 against Crochet.
Which is expected.
I mean, Dominguez is 0 for 6 against Crochet. I just, what are you going to do? I just don't. Caballero doesn't hit well. See, I could understand. Maybe they put Rosario in left field. But McMahon's 1 for 3, so, I mean, he hasn't really seen him much, but I don't know. I actually have no idea what they do there.
I'm going to guess McMahon doesn't play. We see Rosario, but they could go defensive. I think there's pros to both. There's just pros to both decisions.
Yeah.
So let's hope that this team goes out. I know a lot of people were super down when we went and saw Crochet. Just in that series at Fenway, they're like, oh, this is going to go horrible. The Yankees still hit in that game. They hit. But yeah. I think, wasn't that the game Will Warren threw, and he was just dismal in the first inning? Right.
It's going to be, I'll tell you right now, Caballero is going to play against Bayo. He's got good numbers. 444, 944 OPS.
Yeah, so this makes sense for Anthony Volpe. I'm only concerned with Volpe's defense. I understand we'd like him to take quality at bats. For the love of God, if you get up there with a man on second base, nobody out, find a way to drop down a bunt, be productive in your at bats. I'm not looking for hero ball. I'm not looking for you to drive in runners and get excited how many ribbies you had in the regular season. You had 1 million guys on base all year. I'm not concerned with that. Field your position. And he's been good in, periodically playing. Caballero goes out there. All right, Volpe, now you go back out there, right? That's your role. Field your damn position at shortstop. You can't win a World Series if your shortstop's not fielding it. And that goes the same for Caballero. Do your jobs. Run the bases like a bat out of hell. Make quality outs. So that's all I got to say about that. Jake, anything else? Because I know we're doing Gary Hates Eggs.
Yeah, that's going to be it. I feel like when it's all said and done, we're going to be like, shit, Anthony Volpe does have a role on this team. And I don't know if we would have won game X, game Y without him. And his 286 batting average in 59 plate appearances and an 815 OPS in a 407 on base. He's been in October before and he's come through. So I'm not a diehard Volpe fan. I'm not flip-flopping. I'm just going based on the analysis that I can make and the conclusions I can draw based on 59 plate appearances, which I think is enough to determine if somebody in their first ever time in the postseason, if they have it. I'm not saying Volpe is going to be a superstar, but I think he's going to come through in some key moments. So,
yeah, I'm going to say the exact opposite. But what I will say is that I would love to be wrong. I was wrong about him in the 2024, but I didn't think he'd be good in that. And he was good, and we, of course, covered it. It's not like we just swept it under the rug like most other podcasts would. Let's talk about something else. No, we talked about,
Let's talk about Aaron Judge for an hour.
Right. They talk about Judge and All Rise and MVP. It's the same conversation every day. We talked about what Volpe did, even though that wasn't the most comfortable thing to do. Well, coming into 2025 postseason, I can cover what he's done well. He wasn't good today, but overall, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, he's been much better than he was the rest of the regular season. So my prediction for October is I have no prediction for Volpe. No expectation whatsoever. Field your position, and then offensively, if you have expectations for what Volpe is going to do, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm hopeful that Anthony Volpe can find an impact. Find a scenario to drop down a bunt. Find a scenario to slap a ball the other way with a runner in scoring position, no outs. Find a way to set up somebody else to drive in a big run. Or you know what? Maybe you'll spray something, put a ball in play, and it turns into a run for the Yankees, and it ends up being a big hit in the game, kind of your point, Jake. Maybe he makes an impact. I would love for that to be the case, but I think for me to come into this series thinking that Volpe is going to be, I can't wait. Oh, man, on 3rd and 2nd, 1 out. Volpe's coming up. Oh, I have high hopes for this because he's facing a lefty and he does that well. I just think I've learned this lesson. So I'm just gonna wait and see and hope that he does something helpful.
That's fair. I want to ask you a question before we hop off.
Yeah.
Would you rather the Yankees play tomorrow, give up that off day, and then that way, say you're confident you win the series, right? Mm-hmm. You're gonna get an extra day off to go into the ALDS, or do you like the off day tomorrow and then playing on Tuesday, but you only get 1 day before the ALDS?
To be honest with you, I would rather have no days off. Just
Same
for
here.
the simple fact is that given the short nature of this series, how it's just, if you lose game 1, it's hit the fan immediately.
Yeah.
Completely off. We're off center. We're done. And if that happens, you're like, oh, we're down 0-1. We have to win 2 games in a row. Well, that's a tall order. You really want to use the fact that you're the hot team as much as you can. Now, technically, we could just walk into game 1 and just start where we left off. It's not a huge break. It's a day off. But if I can have a break, I really want to break ahead of that Toronto series if we get there, right? I want to make sure Stanton can play for sure in game 1. Maybe we can tee up an ace for game 1 of the division series. I would rather have that break before the division series than anything else. But this is the cards that are dealt. Boston's got the same deck. And for once this year, we literally played Boston. They had 3 days off beforehand. So not the case anymore. Even playing field. Let's go beat these guys and move on.
I agree. Well, that's going to do it. If you like eggs, well, first off, if you liked this, be sure to like the video.
Yes.
If you liked this and you want more of it, be sure to subscribe to said video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and that comment should be, if you like eggs, you say Gary is insane because he hates eggs. Or if you don't like eggs and you're like Gary, then say Gary is a genius or something to that effect. So that's it.
Yeah. Let us know if you like eggs. Drop that in the comment section. Like this video.